I really
they usually save that for the end, but
I needed that for my self-esteem this morning. Anyway, all right, yeah. So, good morning, everybody. Welcome to episode 15 of the Aging Arborist podcast. And myself, Brick, and I are here as always, joined by Pete Nieves-Sosa.
Maybe.
Did I say that right?
I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe.
It's a made up.
I've always said it Nieves-Sosa.
Nieves-Sosa.
I have no idea if that's correct.
Okay.
Fair enough.
And that's Irish, right?
It is straight off the boat.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Biggest mutt you'll ever find.
Didn't you tell me it's like a made up name or something?
It is if you want to go there right away, it is literally a made up name, because when my mother and father met, my dad's name was Angel Acasio, but there was too many angels working in the factory, so he was turned down for the job. So they weren't actually working together yet. And he came back the next day with his cousin's identification or something and said, "I'm Louis Felipe," and made up Nieves-Sosa.
Oh, that's great.
And it was like,
and I think stuck.
And well, so he got you're into the dating. This is back in the 70s when, I guess your identity was only imaginary or whatever.
Yeah.
So my mom literally went to Harrisburg with him to vouch for him that this is who he says he is. And she got him his identification in a fake name.
Wow.
So the living the lie just became the truth, because now it's documented.
If you believe it,
and you go through it, and so that
awesome.
Was the whole thing. So so I'm first generation Nieves-Sosa of the line. Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's crazy.
That's cool. That's actually it's a perfect segue, really, because what I usually do is I just jot down some prompts, whatever. But
that was my bill.
Yeah, no. There's no check coming.
Great.
Yeah, there's no check coming.
Kim will be thrilled.
And it's so funny, and you don't. Well, I know to some degree you do, because you work for vendors a lot. But we had in a situation, it happens once in a while, where the guy's home all day,
right,
and he's like watching. Mason goes to collect and can't find anybody.
Disappeared.
My husband went out. He's like, he was here all day watching every cut I made, and now it's time to pay the bill. Where'd he go?
Yeah.
We'll send it in. Okay.
Yep.
That's great.
We'll mail that to you. Yep.
So who is, I have it written here. Who is Pete? Right. So, we know you. Obviously, this is why you're here.
Just a dude.
We're going to totally dig into that, but you're a husband, right?
I am.
You're married
I'm
to.
A proud father of 3 kids.
Walk us through it. Kim is your wife.
Me and Kim were high school sweethearts.
Oh, no.
My failure turned into my greatest win.
Do tell.
So I failed. I was a little bit of a troubled kid. So I failed 10th grade biology.
Okay.
So before I graduated, you had to have biology.
Okay.
So senior year, I had to retake biology. Kim's 2 years behind me in school. So I walk into the classroom, scope it out. Ooh, there's it. Yup. Sat down right behind her. And
of course you did.
That's cool. I love it.
Her sister is in my grade. So I knew her sister the whole time, but didn't know of her. Yeah. And of course, her side of the story is I walk into the door, she sees me surveying the room, and is like, please no. And boom. So high school sweethearts, we had our on agains, off agains, and whatnot.
Yeah, sure.
And but then we got married in 2001. And
cool.
So
right.
We are 24 years in now.
That's awesome. That's cool. 3 kids.
3 kids,
You got
22, 21, 18.
Roger that.
So they're all, two are currently in college. One's he did 4 years, but he's not done yet.
Yep.
So
okay.
He's taking a break and working, which is making great money too.
Good.
So that's always a plus.
No doubt.
And he is a saver, so that's great.
Oh yeah.
He's our minimalist, and it's funny that the boys are only 14 months apart, and Austin, the older one, being the total minimalist, Ethan, the second one, is like that kid has more shoes.
Makes up for it.
he's been on the European vacation already, and he's an architecture major, so he took the architecture tour to Europe, and
that's cool. Though.
I think he bought shoes there, so. To come home with another tattoo from there.
All right. So he's got European shoes and a European tattoo.
Yep. Hey, you got
he's getting
create
cultured.
the memories.
Yeah, no doubt. That's a perfect age to do it, right?
Oh, yeah. I am slightly jealous sometimes.
Of course.
Of
all the time.
That's definitely a thing.
Exploration at that age. Is
perfect. Yeah.
Perfect.
And
I mean, I don't know if he had responsibilities, but also no responsibilities.
Right.
Even better.
100%.
Roger that.
Yeah.
That's a game changer.
It is.
Yeah. The minute you have someone else to look out for.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
So that's awesome. All right. I mean, I don't know if you have anything you want to jump on, or if you want to just kind of dig into some conversation.
First of all, a family man, which is awesome, right?
Mm-hmm.
You had to support the family somehow.
100%.
So, yeah. You're in the industry in what I consider to be a smaller niche part of it. Like a smaller niche attached to the industry.
Serves the industry.
Yeah.
Kind of like serves the industry, right? With the cranes.
Yeah. So for the listeners, it's more of like, who are you, right? How did you like high school, and then you become this person that has to figure out what to do with life, and then so that's kind of where I would like to start.
Well, you know what? Let me interrupt that thought,
Sure.
Because this is your typical fashion, prompting my brain. So just for the listeners, right? So Pete runs a crane business called the Crane Man Incorporated. Would it take you like an hour to get here?
Yeah, almost exactly.
Okay, so about an hour.
Bucks County.
You're kind of like north and west, right?
Yeah, straight up the Blue Route.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, how many cranes do you have currently?
We currently have 8 cranes.
Okay, so Pete has 8 cranes. Runs, and we're going to dig into this as we go along, but runs 8 cranes, runs a full-on crane business, does all kinds of lifting, different things. But is it fair to say primarily you focus on tree?
Literally 99% of our work is tree work.
Okay.
Always,
and that's part of what I want to, we will dig into.
That's what
I have always said, like, I am not a tree guy.
Yeah.
I'm not an arborist.
Yep.
I'm a crane guy.
Yep.
I've just been in this industry the whole time.
Yep.
I'm like that 25-year overnight success story.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, guys, I've been here the whole time. Like,
exactly.
So we can start either at the beginning of, and maybe that's a good thing, is start.
How would you start at the beginning?
Well, that's what I was going to say. Give us the crane story first, right? Give us the hey, I worked for this guy, and then, I decided to go out on my own. And I always want to ask too, like, what was the genesis of it? Why did you go out on your own? Right. So give us a story, a little history of the Crane Man Incorporated. And some of you know Pete because you've seen him speak at TCIA Expo multiple times and been around.
I hang out with cool people.
Serving the industry. So we're going to get into all that stuff, crane school, et cetera. But give us a little backstory, on how you started in cranes and then went from your guy that you work for, which I've heard the story, but the listeners have not, and started the Crane Man.
So out of high school. So I joined the Army when I was 17 years old. Went to basic training between junior and senior year. I was what they called a split op. So I joined December 26, 1991. That was Desert Storm.
Oh, yeah.
So that was kind of where I thought I was going right out the gate, but didn't really happen. I had did 12 years in the Army Reserve and National Guard and really didn't do anything in that time except have fun. So I came out after high school then. I had to go to my training, my job training, AIT, down in South Carolina. Came back from South Carolina, just needed work. Started working for a local builder, just literally just a laborer, just picking up trash. I ended up being like the raking and seeding yard guy. I had my Kubota and I had the college kids that would help me in the summer, all that stuff. I was working on one of our development sites, and a dude that I knew just from town or whatever was actually setting the trusses. He was working for Bauman Crane, and he was setting the trusses on the building. He's like, dude, we just bought another crane. Like, you should come by and, check it out. And I was like, all right, yeah. So this is 99. So I go over and I literally just this was at the time when it was okay to, like, there's beer in the fridge. It's after work. Like, grab a beer. I'll give you the tour, you know? So me and the owner walked the shop and whatnot. And he's like, something you're interested in? And it's like, well, yeah, that looks fun.
Yeah.
It's like Tonka toy syndrome. It's like literally you just get to be a grown up playing with full size machinery.
Yep.
Big trucks, the whole thing. So truck. I mean, my older brother always says it's truck envy. Everybody needs the bigger truck kind of thing. So I started there February 15th, 1999. I can only remember that because it was the day after Valentine's Day.
Okay.
And I probably didn't get Kim anything. Probably got in some trouble for that.
Yeah.
I've been trying to make up for it ever since.
That would be the first of many times you got in trouble.
Exactly. So I started at Bellman in February 1999. Really
doing what at first? Like
running crane. Right out the bat. And I hold a specific title there as the only guy to ever hit the building on the very first day of employment. Ooh. So I literally showed this is like this industry, just like the tree industry. It's like most of it is like on the job training. You know, very obviously as we get down the road, we try as owners and whatnot, we try and hire people with experience. But I actually like what I call the potato, like the guy with no experience. So I don't have to break bad habits. I have to create,
of course,
good ones right from the go. Mm-hmm. I literally playing with a crane in the parking lot. We had a 55-gallon drum full of concrete, swinging. You need something on the hook to move it around.
Yeah.
So as I'm rotating, booming, cabling, the barrel hits the ground, and I just keep rotating. So as you can see, like the load line is still and I'm cabling down to give it some keep feeding the load line out, and then now I'm way past where it is, and I'm like, it's on the ground. I should cable up. So I just cable up, pick it off the ground. Well, now it's just like
it's like a wrecking ball.
Yeah, literally,
exactly.
Right into
the
like concrete pillar between the garage. Thank God it didn't go through a garage door.
Oh boy!
Hit the concrete, chip some stucco or whatever. Literally dusted off every bar joist rafter in the shop. The owners, like, I'm getting out of the crane. I'm like, well, that was fun. Career short-lived, like 3 hours. Didn't even make it to lunch. Wow. And so I'm like literally climbing off the crane, and Frank comes like marching out of the building. He's like, get back in there. And I'm like, seriously? Like, you don't do that again. I'm like, oh man, like he doesn't care. Like, he did care, like,
right? Of course,
but,
yeah.
Like as we've said before, like
you just learned a valuable lesson.
This is
like to have that happen and like probably crap your pants.
Literally.
And then he's like, "Don't do that again." You're like, "Okay."
Well, yep. Never again will I hit the building.
That
promise.
Won't happen. Yeah, and I never have since.
Yep. Never, ever. Yeah. Right? So if it wasn't for him being one of those characters of men to say, no, like that was a mistake. You didn't intend to do that, but now you know.
Yeah.
Don't do that again. And 100%. So, and then of course that was the most awkward lunch I've ever eaten in my life, because it's just me and the bot, and it's like, it's so silent. Like this, it might have been a minute of silence, and in my mind it's like it was an eternity.
Yes,
it was
exactly.
Yeah, and until one of us, just said something, and it was like, but he was the guy, it was never really spoken of again, except anytime we needed to reinforce a lesson of like, we need to dust the bar joist again. Should we get Pete out there and, swing the barrel some more and whatever. So,
yeah.
So that's just one of those things. So from there, it was, that business in the late 90s or throughout the 90s, housing market was huge.
Yep.
So cranes were setting trusses on houses, all these McMansion developments going up everywhere. So that was their bread and butter. Yep. HVAC work and whatnot. They only did, well, the industry, the tree industry. If I refer to the industry at this point in my life, I'm obviously referring to the tree industry.
Okay,
but,
good clarification.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but yeah, the tree industry really was not. They were but they weren't. It wasn't as commonplace as it is now.
You mean
to be using cranes for tree removal?
Yeah.
Crane assisted tree removal.
Yeah.
It had
and
existed.
What year was that?
This was 99.
Okay.
So
yeah, I was just putting it in perspective because I just trying to think of one of the first crane jobs I did for myself. I was probably around 96, but it was not common. It was like a piece split off. And was on a garage, and I needed a way to get it off, and then take the rest of the tree down. But it was like the guy was like, "Oh yeah, I'll do it."
Sure, looks like fun.
Yeah.
Dealing with unknowns.
Yeah.
So that Sonny was my crane mentor. Sonny was the old operator at Bauman,
worked there
at Bauman Crane. Yeah.
Yep.
Vietnam vet. Me and him were just two peas in a pod. Oh, yeah. Love the man to death still today. Awesome. He's got an awesome red Corvette.
Cool.
We'll go. Get together any chance I can. He lives over. He's a Jerseyite.
Nice. What years is Corvette?
I believe it's like a 76.
Oh, cool. Oh yeah.
Stingray, similar to somebody else's.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But. So Sonny's he was a crane operator forever kind of thing. And he was like, and he's a jokester. And we had, all the things. Like he was the guy that the one day I walk up to my crane and there's like a paper towel with Sharpie written on it that says, "You'll need this." And I'm like, that's weird. I stick my hand, it's an old Ford at Louisville, the old Ford L9000. The side, I stick my fingers up under the handle to open the door. Just grease. He packed under the handle full of grease. And I was just like, he just wiped that off. I guess I did need that paper towel.
That's great.
Thanks, Sonny.
Yeah,
so
that's awesome.
That was just one of those, this is one of those, that's what you do. We're a small shop, everybody's tight.
I might have to use that.
No, it's surprising that in 25 years I've never done that to anybody else.
I know,
I never just took that that's hilarious because the grease isn't going to hurt anything. It's just
at first you're kind of like,
but he also helped you with the towel.
Yeah,
so
it's
not a bad thing.
Right. It's just gotcha.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
So I, for whatever reason, just I had a natural ability to run equipment really well.
It's good.
So I've never viewed myself as any kind of perfectionist. I'm perfectly happy in being mediocre. That's I'll be the most okayest, whatever. But I also get bored easily. I think in this day and age we label. Back then I was just that hyper kid,
of course.
Whatever. But it's like setting trusses. It's like it's monotonous, it's repetitive, and it's boring. Like. Makes money just the same, and it's actually easier on the crane because you're lifting like 200-300 pound nothings.
Yep.
So there got to this point where it was like, okay, I could tell and you're setting the same houses over and over again. These cookie cutter developments. So I knew that's the next truss going up, and at that time we had these open hooks. It's a truss hook, so it's this big. It's actually just a bent piece of like 1 inch. Round stock into like a foot open hook.
Yep.
So I would just
scoop it up.
I would hook the trusses myself if I could, and I even got to the point like if it's hanging off the pile this as much as this table here, a couple of inches, get the hook under it and just try and pull it off. This hook's going to slip off, but I'll pull the truss out an inch each time, and then I can get it in the hole and hook the truss. So I wasn't the guy to just sit there and wait.
Yep.
I would, and it would take too much energy to climb off the crane and go over and pull it over by hand and do the thing. So I'm just trying to use the equipment and just do it that way.
Very resourceful.
Oh yeah. So just, and you don't even realize you're just developing your skills.
Oh, 100%.
You're just, it's that repetitive motion. You're training yourself to the machine just becomes an extension of your hand, so it's
that's what I was going to say. You're so dialed in that it's not even a crane anymore.
Oh yeah. It's just an extension of me, and that's
right. Because now again, this is just me, but you can still be a good crane operator if you just do the typical wait for somebody to hook it up. That's
100%.
You spending that extra time to like you said, you
literally have to feel it. You feel it.
I
like the things just like you guys as arborists, like you can feel things happening to the trees you're climbing with.
Yeah.
You can feel I mean. Tatey describes it great when he's got the spikes in and he knows a crane's pulling too hard because you can feel the tension in the tree. Like, and I can feel every fiber you're cutting, like I can feel the release of the stuff, you know. But not everybody has the desire or even the ability to get that in tune with their craft. You know, it's you have to be, you know,
you have to be
wanting it. You have to, So I guess I wanted it. You know, I wanted it more. And Sonny was just like, Pete needs to go do a tree job. You know, I'm not. Sonny was at that point was the one that did all the tree jobs. So,
okay, then that
good.
So that was
hold on one second, just so we're clear. So Sonny, your mentor, is doing house trusses with you? Or
we all set. Everybody does everything. Yeah, but
he's the only one doing
trees being the most dangerous thing you can do with a crane. Like Sonny just had the kind of the lock in house on that. He was just the guy.
So he was doing consistent enough, like one a week, one a month. Like this is 99.
This is 99 and whatnot. So it might have been one a week. It might have been one every 2 weeks. Okay, it's hard to say for sure.
But a nice
you know, like McFarland. You remember McFarland Tree Service? Yeah, Pete McFarland. Like that was kind of one of the original guys, and Jose, the climber, who now works at Fairmount Park, where I actually reconnected with him at crane school when we were at.
Wow.
He was one of my nemesis to say, yet it was, we learned off each other so well. So he was a great climber and whatnot, but it was just, we just didn't know. We were inventing the wheel at that point, you know.
Yep.
So, but Sonny just said, like, Pete, he recognized my skill, I say, and that's what I've tried to do now later, is recognize other people's skills and then put them in their place to do it. But Sonny said, we got to get Pete out on some tree work. So I remember Paul Morano was my first tree job. I was running a 23-ton national crane, 95 foot of power boom.
What were you good for?
At 50 feet, like 3,500 pounds, probably.
Okay.
Not enough.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's amazing how many trees we took down with that little crane.
Sure.
We've just, as everything in the world, remember when cell phones were little?
Yes.
Everything's just bigger now.
Agreed.
But everything, you can use it to its limitations. And as long as you stay within the limitations, you're golden. Yep. There's lots you can do with that. I mean, we know the guys like Rob and Mike did so many tree jobs with 18-ton cranes, like 80 foot a stick, whatever.
You've learned to adapt what you have for the jobs you have and design. I know as a rep, when I go out for my company, like as a, I'm logistically trying to go, here's what we need. Right. Here's what we can use, and just plug in what you have.
Oh yeah.
And you can't use it for everything, but
and that's like one of those, don't make me tangent here, king of the tangents.
Yeah.
But if you only have these tools, why would you set anything up for what you don't have?
Right.
So you have this at your disposal.
Yes.
How can you make it work with this?
Correct.
Don't tell me, something outside the toolbox is what we need.
Yeah.
Unless you're just really trying to get me to buy a bigger crane, or you need a bigger saw,
whatever
it is. I mean, there's a 500-ton crane has its limit.
Sure, of course.
Yeah. I mean, everything has its limits. I included.
Yes.
So, like my buddy L&L crane, he bought a 400-ton crane. The very first job he got a call for on it needed a 500-ton.
Oh. That's crazy.
He literally had to turn that first job.
Wow.
Spends $2.5 million or whatever it was for this piece of iron.
Wow.
Very first phone call, he's all excited and
can't do it.
Actually can't do it.
Wow.
But this other one can, so you got to call this guy.
Yeah.
So let's just get kind of dialed back on the path, because I want to just so you're at Bauman Crane.
Yeah.
The man gives you your first crane job, and then let's move from that point. Was there a fire lit? Like, you did your first crane job and you're thinking what? With the tree.
First tree job. Paul Morano, first tree job. I don't remember if I was nervous, if I was I don't remember.
Okay.
I remember the driveway. I remember being set up to the right side of the driveway, picking over whatever. I remember the end of the job, and Paul came out, like put $50 in my hand and was like, "You're a natural." That was awesome. Like,
good.
I was like,
okay,
cool.
I had no idea.
I don't know what we just did here,
Yeah.
but that was fun.
That's
You're
awesome.
a pretty cool guy.
Yeah.
Love to hang out some more.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Sure, yeah.
So that was kind of the introduction to tree people.
So at that
You
point,
know.
does the frequency of crane work begin to pick up for you?
100%. 100%. So then somewhere in there, I just, I started doing more. We got the 1500 series nationals, the 36 ton. So we were increasing our abilities. But I was still running a 23 ton. I remember I was in a 1500 national when Steve Schreiner Tree Service found me.
Wow.
I was literally setting trusses near Schreiner's shop, and this little white Ford Explorer comes like whipping in. I'm like, who is this guy? Got to be an inspector or something. Literally just climbs up on the crane. And at this point, I was already doing a fair amount of tree work.
Mm-hmm.
And Steve jumps up on the crane. He's like, "Do you do tree work?" I'm like, "Yeah." Go poise me to be more standoffish. Why don't you?
Exactly.
And it's like now everybody's feathers are up, and we're like, "Yeah." He's like, "When are you next available?" I was like, "You got to call the number on the door, man." Like,
I'm just the operator.
I just
Exactly.
work here, dude.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
But I was the biggest company man at that point
Yeah.
in time. Like, I was like, I had thought like I will retire from here.
That's
I'm
cool.
all in.
Oh,
Like, this is a
yeah.
good job. They take
Yep.
care of me.
Yeah.
All the things. So then it was like when the introduction with Schreiner Tree came in, and then it was like me and Mike Livy, Livy.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, like, we're just hooked up, and it was just like it became the thing where then at Bauman, I was the first guy to do like a week straight, all
Of
5
tree work.
days tree work.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, I'm so stressed out. Like, this is like, oh,
Yeah.
I need a break. Give me some trusses. And I was like, one day I sat in trusses. I was like, trusses suck.
There you go.
Give me some more tree work. And
Some
then it was like,
perspective.
so now I'm like the guy that does 2 weeks straight, a month straight.
So it's cool
and then-
because Bauman's starting to get
Oh, they're getting, they grew
more involved
yeah.
with the tree work.
Yeah, that was just this. Because of my skills and we had some other guys. Rod came in who was an ex-tree guy then, and I helped train him to run a crane. Like, they were growing, I was growing, we were all growing.
Yeah.
Everybody, that whole, you've heard me say the whole like, we're never perfect, but as long as we keep striving for perfection, the better you are, the better I am, the better we can be together.
Yeah.
So this is like we're all growing together at that point. So we're just increasing everything, and the job, their business is growing, my work's growing, and I didn't really see whatever it was until later on. Like I was getting requested then, so everybody wants me. I mean, there was a guy, Ed, who since passed, God bless him, had cancer. He was a great operator too. So Angelo was there. I had brought him in. I brought him in because I didn't want to do all the mechanic work at the beginning either. Like, I mean, they had a mechanic there. Old Joe was a great guy and whatnot, but I felt like all of a sudden every truck I was changing oil on, I was doing brakes on too or whatnot. And I was and they realized like, oh, Pete knows how to do mechanics. So I was like, I don't want to do the mechanics. I want to run the crane. Angelo was a mechanic when, at that time. So I brought him in. Again, everybody's an operator first, but you maintain your equipment. So,
sure.
So that was that on set and whatnot. But then there was an accident. So a crane flipped over, taking a tree down. The way it was handled did not sit well with me. At that point, the owner, or the new owner, not the original owner, names, don't matter, but the new owner liked his equipment more than he liked his employees, I felt. It instantly showed. I had grown into this position of like I was almost like the liaison between the workers and the management at that point. So it was me, the operator that had the accident, and the owner in the lunchroom Saturday afternoon discussing it, tears, the whole thing. At the end of that discussion, it was like, you're everything, we're not going to fire you. It was an accident. And that's, he had an accident. It wasn't on purpose. Like it's something, this is the risk we're running every day. 2 weeks later, he was fired. And I was like, this does not sit well. Like, I'm on the chopping block anytime now too. Cause 25 years later, I still, we've never had an incident of that nature kind of thing. But sorry, Ben.
No,
that's right. I'm watching you tap, and I'm
No, I love where it's going now. The how do I say this? I've been doing this a long time. I've been listening to a lot of talks. Obviously, Mark Chisholm, Todd Kramer, and you're talking late 90s, early 2000s, which also means it's also, like you said, everybody's learning and helping each other how this dynamic. So can you dive into a little bit of what it was like doing crane work in trees at that time?
It was absolutely terrifying.
Okay. Yeah.
It was literally, we had no clue what we were doing, yet we were laying the groundwork to get us to where we are today. Not even realizing I was a part of that, Exactly, and it was like, you remember the steel chokers, like these are horrible to work
splinters
with.
From them.
Metal splintering your finger from a broken wire and a steel choker is not the greatest thing. And it's like, I found these round chokers, like the continuous chokers we use today. We had some on the truck. I was like, maybe these will work. Check their weight rating and whatnot. And then it's like, when we started, it was like, you had to take them on and off the hook. There's a continuous loop, a round choker, literally as the word says, round choker. So it's a round loop. You had to choke it on a tree and then put it back on the hook. I don't know who gets credit for it. All of a sudden one day we're like, what if we use a shackle on the bottom? So now we don't have to keep going back to the hook. So now you're just working. So these were all just these little
micro adjustments.
Yeah.
So how would a guy, just quickly thinking in terms of, like, for the listeners that do crane work, that understand, now we spider leg. There's an evolution that happened. So early on, and I mean, I'm asking you for the audience, right? Someone's got a big, long, sort of horizontal limb, and they're what?
Glad you said horizontal limb.
Yeah.
A big, long.
Yeah, so they have a big, just going out this way, and what?
No, nothing.
Oh, Elon Musk. No Nazis. Yeah, so they're what? They're just choking it and kind of like cutting it? Or are they trying to center point tie? Or are they just butt tying? Are you like
a lot early on? It was like, and again, made me the better operator I am today, because we weren't static picking like anything. Everything was directional notches and stand it up, bring it closer to the crane, make the crane stronger. So everything had to come up and towards you, basically. So it was just, a lot of tip tying.
Yep.
Obviously for the arborist now, he's got to further walk back.
Yeah.
Because he's going further out just to come back.
Yeah.
So, and we're using short slings and whatnot. So low, if he's tied into the ball, he's tied in low, and Corey Shepard still holds the record for me of like the greatest not limb walk coming back, big horizontal. Might have been a white. In my mind, it's a white because it just had a huge bottom lower limb. Yeah. He tip ties it, whatever. He's making it halfway back, and that loses the balance. He had his lanyard around it, so he's like trying to walk it back.
He's kind of like, is he like ball crawling?
He hadn't got to that yet. He was trying to walk it back, but he had his lanyard around it because he just knew what. So now he's off. He's hanging under the limb from his lanyard. And I know this doesn't work good I got to describe this as best as I can for the audience, but it was like, he's still tied into the crane, so he can just unlanyard, hit the ground now, but then he would have to go back up the tree to make the cut. Instead, all the credit in the world, unclips from the crane. And I'm like, what is he doing? Now he's literally just hanging on his lanyard under a limb, literally grabs both sides of the lanyard and starts pulling himself up and flipping.
Jeez,
and it may have been 10 feet, but in my mind it was 25.
Sure.
And it was, and he made it back. Like, totally spent the energy though. Needed a little breather once he got to the trunk and whatnot. And so that was one of those.
Those are the old like hair raising.
Yeah.
You know that. You know, you've been doing this long enough. You have a few of those in your mind where you're like, oh, I remember this.
Right.
It left a mark somewhere. Yeah.
And at this point in life, you'd go like, man, like, why wouldn't you set a line, like a second line in the tree to pull back to
dude, it's hindsight.
All the little things that we've grown off of, you know, and it's you know, the further we go by standing on the shoulder of giants thing, like this is all these little building blocks that we're just, you know, remember we did that didn't work. Let's not do that again. Or that went really well. Like, let's keep doing it that way, you know?
I love it. That's what I wanted to bring out to the listeners, because I know that what people see, the people that are in the industry now are getting into it, that's all they know.
Oh, yeah.
They don't know how it was, but they assume that that's how crane work always was in the tree industry.
Yeah. No. We have, I mean, so when I came in, Mark and Todd were definitely ahead. They're older than I am, so they're obviously they're great. Like, I have been so blessed in the industry by becoming friends with so many great people. I've been so surrounded by greatness this whole time that if I did not get gooder at it, like, that would be shame on me, you know? Because you know, our area is just loaded with talent, and I've been blessed to be friends with and just, you know, working with so many. You know, so that being said, that's where it all started growing from is just that, you know, tapping into that.
Yeah, no doubt. So you get to this point, like, you're doing this work, there's the accident at Bauman, you don't like what's going on. Is this the genesis of you starting the Crane Man?
That was,
and then like what year and what was your first, like, I'm buying a crane, like, kind of thing?
So I don't remember what month it was, but I mean, May 1st, 2008 was opening day for Crane Man.
Okay, cool.
It was at the Hope Lodge, Fort Washington, Pendel climbing competition. Was literally that's my connection to Climber Comp. You guys know that I'm very involved with that. I was just trying to get Brick a win. You know, I've been a huge fan from day one.
Appreciate it.
You know, so that was, Crane Man is forever connected to the Climber Comp because I used that as jump. You know, I showed up. Everybody knew me as Pete from Bauman until that day. I bought the crane. I set up the business. Like I had to have everything ready to go before I quit because I wasn't going to have a break. So because of great financial planning, that's the divine intervention thing. Yeah. You know, me and Kim had a Chevy Suburban at the time, 99 3/4 ton Chevy Suburban, which I have another one of now. However, we bought that one to get a better interest rate. I took out a credit line, paid off the car loan with the credit line, but the credit line had to be bigger, like, than I needed. So, but I only needed this much of it, so that's all I used. The rest of it was just sitting there. Unbeknownst to me, that later, look at what you have available. So this gives you the ability to now do something else. So wasn't planned; it just happened.
Okay.
So that's
cool.
Like I said,
that's awesome.
That's the divine intervention because you didn't know it, but it was being set up for you.
Yeah.
So then we started the Crane Man. Business is all set up, ready to go. I bought the crane. I had it hiding, literally hid a crane at my buddy's shop. When I went to quit, the conversation was like, "Are you the Crane Man?" And I was like, "Maybe." Okay. What do you know? I'm just putting my 2 weeks notice in. So, and I had to work my 2 weeks, by the way.
Oh, wow.
So
I was going to ask
it was one of those, like, you poison yourself, as we all get adult, you have to be ready for whatever, but you have to be stand up and true enough too to say, if this is what I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it with all my heart.
Yep.
So I said, this is my 2 weeks. If you want me to leave now, I get it. No, we'll keep you on we'll get two. And then it's like, you just want 2 more weeks of work out of me,
exactly.
Which is all good. And I did not tell a soul.
Wow.
I told no one what I had done. It was like the big secret. And funny part was then the old boss let the cat out of the bag to Steve Schreiner. Me and Livy are taking down a tree one day. Steve, again, comes flying in the little Ford Explorer, jumps up on the crane. What did you do? I'm like, dude, we broke nothing today. This job's going great. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then I think Livy was in the bucket truck at that time. So it's like the bucket truck's coming.
What's going on?
Yeah. He's coming out of the tree, coming right to the crane cab. Like, the
like
bucket truck comes like flies in. Now Livy's like, what's going on? Steve, what's wrong? And Steve was like, tell him what you did. And I'm still like, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I bought a crane.
It's like, how did you know?
Yeah. So I think it might have been like trying to cut me off at the pass kind of thing.
Yeah.
And Steve Schreiner, his words to me, and I love the man. He's been a mentor the whole time.
Yeah.
He's a great dude. And he said, I remember clearly hearing him say, he's like, I will keep fuel in your tank and food on your table. So didn't say he was going to give me any work. But that's the way I interpreted it.
So you're adopting me.
Yeah, so great. I'm a Schreiner now.
Yeah.
Forget that Nieves-Sosa thing.
That was made up anyway.
Yeah. Didn't like that one too much from the get-go.
Yeah.
So hard to spell, say, everything.
Yeah.
So it right out of the gate, Crane Man just going. And the funny part is, like I said, I will clearly remember May 1st, 2008, climber. I was actually I'm just walking around. And the crane, I brought the crane there, like
to the comp.
Okay. Set it up like down in the, back in that time we had more static displays. I feel like at comps, like more vendors might have showed up or something.
It's possible. I don't know in Jersey so much. Pendel, you guys were always, at one point, like pretty, like your symposium and everything was like light years ahead of where we were.
Real quick on that note, somebody in this room is on the Pendel Symposium Council now, and we will be back.
Yeah, cool.
It's bigger and better than ever. So, side note.
I used to go to it. I mean, our show, I supported ours because of what it was, but I was like always like Pendel's.
Unit super strong, especially for the time period.
No doubt.
Yeah. So, and it was like. So everybody, I already knew almost everybody there, competitors and everybody else
from working with
them, because that's been the thing, just by design or whatever. Like I'm that connecting link between you guys are all your own competition. I'm everybody's best friend because it's like I have to go work for this guy and I don't talk about that guy and you just
interesting.
It's just like dynamic. I am
you're on everybody's team.
Oh yeah, and that was literally part of the business model. Was like I can make the smallest guy compete with the biggest guy because I'm a force multiplier. It's like putting the sniper in the battlefield. Like now we've got the same piece of equipment. We can literally take on whatever as long as we have the ability to process the material, do our side. We're just bringing another piece onto the field. Yeah. So that, like I said, and again, not to tangent out there, but like that little comment of like, I will wholeheartedly admit I've been part of the problem the whole time. Yeah. We've created a generation of climbers who I'm not actually sure if you're a climber. I've only ever seen you come down. Yeah. You took the elevator into the tree.
I got you.
You're working your way down. Look at this gear we've got now. Like you can't even tie a suicide knot, or a Blake's hitch, whatever. Like you're literally on a mechanical device. You didn't climb the tree. You got to ride into the tree. yes, you rigged it, you worked your way down. Let's call you a rappeller, not a climber.
There we go.
That's like you didn't. I didn't see you climb. You may have done some lateral movement.
Yeah.
So definitely guilty of being part of that.
That's an interesting statement. Last year during all that heat, not this summer, but last summer, summer was super hot, really intense, and we had a guy come in who was looking for a couple of days work, and I needed a guy, and I brought him in for a day, and it was. I didn't think anything super formidable, but he had been doing crane removals for the last couple years, and he got on the job completely gassed out, completely fell apart. Mason's like, this dude, he's like, nice guy and all, he's like, but just can't and he admitted, he's like, I haven't been climbing, I've been just doing crane work.
Right.
And it's like, okay, and it's like funny talking to Derek Martin for the listeners. He's a
pretty okay climber.
He's not bad. Yeah. He talked about pruning and how the pruning sets you up way better for the comps. He's like, I hope to be doing more pruning as I get to comp.
Get close season, to training
so that
time.
I can be more adept at and expend the amount of energy necessary to prepare myself to compete. Yeah. So just to kind of stay on a path, on a track. You're now talking about
what you
climbers.
Want to do.
Yeah, no, it's cool because we're actually, believe it or not, we're flowing here, which is great.
We're in the zone.
So now you're doing tree work. Crane Man's born. You bring your stuff to a comp. You have relationships you're building. You're a force multiplier for other folks. What mistakes? So like you do have you talk about your vantage point, which is decidedly different. Like I'm in a place. It's kind of like Yoast too, same thing. I'm in a place and this guy uses Pete and that guy uses Pete and this guy uses Pete. And you have this ability to see all these different people. Right. And while you're with them, you're on their team.
100%.
And it's a great thing.
100%. I'll wear your shirt if you give me one.
Yeah. I got a box here somewhere. I love speaking to guys like you and guys like Ray from Gap because of that perspective. Right. And I can ask a very unique, pointed question that only people like you can answer. And that is,
yes,
from a mistake standpoint. Okay. You're with this guy and this guy and this guy, and you're working with this climber, this climber, this climber. You've worked with guys like Derek, like Tatey, like Thigpen, Roachy, like all these guys.
I worked with Mark Chisholm once.
Mark Chisholm.
He was cool.
So you have this sort of full palette of climbers. What common mistakes do you see? Sort of, like just 2 or 3 of the top things you see where you think, oh man, in other words, people that are, and maybe this will benefit the listeners that are doing it, maybe not a lot, or they want to get into it. What are some things you see that are common mistakes made? But then also sort of the B side of that question would be, and I just lost it. So start with A. What common mistakes do you see?
In my specific part of the trade, one of the largest mistakes I've seen is like the inability to read a tape measure.
Ah, interesting.
Like, from get-go,
to get you
you've
there in
set
the
up
first
for
place.
failure. Because of your lack of doing the due diligence. You saw a tree and you said a crane would remove this awesome. You didn't pull the tape measure to say how far is it from where we can set the crane up.
Okay.
So biggest mistakes are usually from not to throw salesmen under the bus. I know somebody that is one. But it's like what you can set a job up for failure, like right from the sale of the job, just by not having the right tools. But that starts with the information, and it's literally, we've had this like joke of like, I'm going to give 100-foot tape measures to all my sales, or all my clients' sales reps for Christmas presents. Okay. Like it's literally all it takes. Like, especially when we had the smaller crane, like the 36-ton, that's pretty much your limit. It's less than 100 feet, 90 feet, whatever. You're good for like, my, is like, I'll hang you to 95 feet if you leave your wallet with me to lighten the load, So okay. we're running out. Yeah. That's the thing. Like, take the small saw, leave the wallet, just and take all those extra junk off your saddle.
All the little blank. Do you find
you just
guys
nip it away?
Sometimes we'll measure because this is, and it's weird because I do this with Rick. I'm amazed sometimes when he says, "Oh, I got up here and I could barely do anything with this tray." And I'm like, how does a guy bring a guy out?
Right.
And not like, and Rick's like, it's not a magic wand. And what he told me was, and maybe you can
know the guy that says that.
You can concur, is like they'll measure to the trunk.
Oh yeah.
And meanwhile, you've got a 40-foot limb.
And the whole tree, whole tree goes beyond.
What am I going to do with this?
Right. Oh yeah. That's the other thing. Once we get somebody the ability to read a tape measure, now we have to teach them what to measure. So let's measure we always say the furthest pick. Where's the furthest pick? And it's not hard to stand under a tree, look up, and go, whoa, that's like, I'm at the trunk, but that lead is way out here. Or it goes the other way, and the whole tree is leaning towards the crane, so the furthest pick is then the trunk. Doesn't matter, whatever the furthest pick's going to be, that's the number we got to go with. Now, obviously, trunk wood, limb wood, we're talking completely different capacities and our ability to manage. Mm-hmm. We can only take so small of a piece of trunk wood. And John Holsizer, I'll drop names all day here, by the way. He also, at the time he was working for T&T Tree Service, another Jersey giant. He probably holds the records for the most cuts with a 3120 in a tree. So 23-ton national. This is back in my Bauman days. It's all we had. I don't remember how far it was. I remember we were good for firewood.
Oh, wow.
Really? But there was literally like, to negative rig it out, to rope this down into whatever. We create all our own problems as humans too. So we put this landscaping under to now limit our ability to do anything, or we have to remove it, put it back, whatever it was. We're good for firewood, but it's like, it might have been like 36-inch oak or something, so small. So small. Yeah. Literally. But it was like, I don't remember what other saws, but his choice. And I don't even know if this was just to prove a point to somebody. Yeah. And John was like all of like 140 pounds soaking wet at that time. But he is like, he's a champion old school climber. Like, dude, like, make me work and I'm just going to smile bigger.
Wow.
So he just saddled. I mean, he's cut notches to get straps to hold. Because, at taking 18 inches of wood at a time, you don't have enough material to any strap slippage.
And then to get it high enough on an 18 piece so it doesn't roll.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that may have been like the early onset of like, if we double choke these so that it picks straight, because picking up, and the amplification of the movement from a one side tip is so drastic at that point. So, but yeah, he might have made like 27 freaking cuts, But we're talking a 30-foot log is what we took down, 18 inches at a time, with a 3120 on it, and it was just like, oh, that was painful. But you when you smoke through the rest of the tree and then you like now
it's a mistake. A lot of like groundies will go, man, we got this tree licked, and I'm like, don't say that because now we got trunk
not
wood.
Done yet, not till, like, and it's not even till the flush cut's done.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Kim has learned years and years ago when it's like, hey, how you making out? We're on the flush cut. All right, so you got a couple hours yet?
It's like the last 2 minutes of a football game.
Yeah, maybe. Right? Yeah.
That's true, right?
So it's like 2 minutes real time or 2 minutes like football time.
Right,
like,
which is really an hour and a half.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And it's just one of those like, brutal.
So just a technical question. I'm just curious, when you saw, you were doing a lot of this like one strap wonder type stuff. What was your first experience like with like a balanced, you've got to pick limb with a Y and a thing, and someone's like, I'm going to put one here, and one on the butt. Like, do you remember your exposure to that? Like either at a show or
no? It would have been on the job.
Yeah,
because it was again pre-crane, man. I took Bauman to Pendle Symposium. I begged and begged and begged, like, this is something we need to go to. And me and the boss went out and just checked it out. And I think I got so sick from Cracker Barrel, we had to leave early. I thought
I'm either
acid reflux, and I literally was in the bathroom thinking I'm having a heart attack.
I'm either going to die here or vomit. One or the other.
Right, one or the other. And either would have been great, because it would have just ended it.
End the suffering.
Just stop it. And then I think the next year, I actually got them to allow me to go out and put a booth there.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it was pre that. So now we're back in the timeline from Crane Star 08. So 06, 07 was the first 2 exposures to the symposium. And it was before that, I was already in so deep, that we were doing balance picks somewhat and whatnot. And could have been Livy, could have been Tatey, could have been Thigpen, somebody could have been Jose with McFarland. At some point
showed up
we just started like, hey, this might work better if we just balance this instead of trying to have the crane and match cuts to movements, because that's, people don't realize what you're asking of the, it's like, well, you just boom up, or it's I'm booming up, cabling down, rotating left, because I'm following whatever the hinge is, and it even though the crane only moves in 2 different lines, in, out, up, down, left, right, so we're creating fluid movement.
You're creating curvature through straight lines,
right? Literally. Yeah. But again, we got master your skill, and it just looks easy. But now it's you did it last time, just do it again.
Well, what's crazy is the skill in that is actually way harder than just setting the rigging first.
Right.
Because we had an old guy around here. His name was Lee, legendary around here. He had a company called Lift It.
Okay.
And he was the local tree guy. Crane. And I've used him before. And then I used another guy. But that was the classic. And then my first exposure to, multi-point sort of rigging or whatever. And then I drive by some of his jobs and I'm looking at him still doing that.
Yeah.
And it's different. You have all this knowledge now and you're like, wow, somebody's still suffering through that whole thing. And
it's literally once you see it, you can't unsee it thing. Once you've been exposed and and that's the hardship I go through on a weekly anyway. I know there's a better way.
Yeah.
But I'm going to suffer through today because this guy's just not receptive to it. So I'll back it up. I will match your pace anytime. That's another thing I try to teach operators. It's I can go really fast or I can go really slow. Granted, I like to go really fast, but it's definitely a thing. You got to play to the weakest player.
No doubt. So, that's a great, I love that.
It's one of those, if they can't process the material, what do I really need to stack more on them?
Right.
Now, me and Dan Lawton, we love to stack it up on you.
Yeah.
It is literally, we've got a couple customers and I hope they hear this, we love stacking it. One of our best was we literally had a cul-de-sac. The guy
full
had to
of
go
brush.
the guy, we multiple setups on a site. So we move the crane, get set up on whatever. We had six big oaks to come down. Big, 120 foot, 30-inch wood, whatever. Just a lot of limb material. I was just into the yard of the driveway, the length of the crane, and my drop zone's a cul-de-sac, a big cul-de-sac, no island, just all open. So he pulled the chipper out of the cul-de-sac, unhooked, went to dump, left us with one ground guy. It is a small company, but he brings in the crane and the contract timer, and he does the work of a big company. He just has to process the material. Me and Dan, it was literally we're smiling at each other as he's driving away. You want to do it? Let's do it.
So all the poor ground guy was doing was unhooking slings.
All he could do is he only had time to unhook, make some cuts. He's trying to manage the ground as best as he can, and to his credit, he did a great job. Because by the time he's made a couple cuts, got pieces to lay down, the next one's landing on top of him. And I'm talking 5,000-pound brush picks, big brush pick. So I just kept stacking it. I didn't stack it all on top of it.
Yeah,
We just kept moving her.
Yeah.
By the time dude got back with the chip truck, the whole cul-de-sac is full of brush and big brush. Like it's 10 foot deep next. And he had a little, not an Avant, but a little Giant or something, a articulating loader. So
that's an oxymoron. Little Giant.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's like jumbo shrimp, right? So and of course, it's just, he smiled when he got back too, because
it works out for him.
Hey, well, right. Also, at least the tree's on the ground.
It's one of those
as long
things.
As it's like, not like this.
Right, yeah. Now all he has to do is process. That's what he had to do.
Yeah.
Process the material. It's all there. He's ready to go. And he really doesn't care. Like if me and Dan take lunch now, we don't. We just keep, now we're on wood. Now I'm stacking wood in there.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things. We make a game out of it when you reach that level where it's like you can make a game out of it and you literally enjoy your job because you're just having fun, and it's again, it's perfecting your craft. It's just having the mindset of like, this is not torture. This is fun and games time. Like, let's see how fast we can do it. Let's see how Dan
up there.
Oh well, yeah, that is I'll put it out there right now that I would argue Dan Lawton may be the best crane removal.
I've heard.
Yeah, the dude is flawless every time. And
it was cool because at crane school, Mason went up and Dan was in the trade.
Yeah.
And I just was looking, I was like, oh yeah, this will be. And it just came off and it was like,
and it's funny, but after crane school, one of the discussions was like, the hard part is like, once you leave crane school, you don't have Dan Lawton in the tree with you to tell you how to rig everything. Yeah. I'm like, well, that's called learning. You remember what Dan said, do it yourself.
Play a tape in your head.
Right. We're just
I'm sure
filling the toolbox.
I'm sure that Dan Lawton's voice will come through their head when they're in the position.
It's hard. He's so quiet. It's hard to hear though. Like it's real. It's like a whisper.
Hey guys, you are watching and listening to the Aging Arborist podcast. Thanks for coming along this journey with us. Brick and I are super excited to announce our sponsor, the Modern Group. Modern Equipment has been a very faithful sponsor to the New Jersey chapter of ISA, and we are also, at Tree Awareness, clients of theirs. We have bought several pieces of equipment from them, and they have been absolutely amazing. From the sales team to the service department to parts. If you're looking for equipment in the tree space or construction in general, please do yourself a favor and check out the Modern Group. They have 2 locations, one in Bristol, PA, and a brand new, just opening location in Tabernacle, New Jersey. You can go to moderngroup.com and check them out. Please, for all your tree equipment and construction equipment, go see the folks at Modern. They are second to none. All right, so we're talking through, crane and slings, and somewhere in there, and for those of you listening may not know, there is a crane training program that you developed. Did you co-develop, or was this kind of your crane safety climber school?
Yeah.
And
it might have been my idea, but it's not something one person could ever accomplish on their own. Okay. And it was literally developed by conversations with most of the original players.
Okay.
So the Council of Elders, the OGs. So it was myself, Tatey, Frazier, Roach, Big Pen, Gareth Peoples. I think that was the original crew. Okay. Cool. I had the idea before I went out on my own, and I sat on it for a little while, because I was like, I knew again, divine intervention. Why do you not act immediately? It's not time.
Yeah,
it's not time yet.
The fruit hasn't ripened yet.
Right. Yeah. Right. So we didn't do it earlier. We waited till I was on my own. Well, then I went on my own in 2008. And was so busy right out the gate. And again, that's a blessing, not a curse. Amen. It's not a problem. Yep. Worse problems to have than being too busy.
Yeah.
2011 was the first crane school. So at Pendel, me and Tatey were sitting there and I totally forgot Gene. I don't know, his last name just slipped my mind. Gene was the president of Pendel at that point.
Yep.
Me and Gene had such a history. To say I had the president in my back pocket is almost an understatement.
Oh,
So not to say I could use him like a puppet but I hope he hears me say that because he'll laugh. The only guy ever to teach himself how to climb from reading a book, literally he was that guy.
Wow.
Gene is a nerd. He worked for Shriner.
Okay.
He was president of the Pendel. We're tight. I think he worked for Bartlett before Shriner, and that's probably where I first met him. I might be wrong on that. We'd have to call him and ask him. But anyway, so I grabbed Gene, and I'm like, dude, I got this idea. And I just kind of like threw Tatey right under the bus. I will do that to him any day of the week and every day of the week if I can. Love that opportunity. So I'm like, let's do this thing that we've been talking about. And Tatey knew what I was getting.
He'll just look at you and go, okay, what's next?
I know. Yeah. All right. Because it was like
MFer.
So yeah, exactly. Yeah. So back up a little bit from that. Like there was days on the job. Me and Livy were hammering at the time, and it was just one of those like, man, why do we do it so well? And then like yesterday, I literally just struggled to get this guy to do what we're doing effortlessly today.
Right.
What's the difference? What's happening Tuesday that didn't happen Monday? Where is the disconnect here?
Wow.
Why are some guys good and some guys aren't? Well, that's just because some guys don't care, some guys do. Whatever. That's a lot of
or
human.
Some guys know and some guys don't know.
Yeah, some guys it may have never been told.
Sure.
Like literally just I didn't know.
Yeah.
So all they needed was to be told.
Yes.
So we literally on the jobs at lunch, whatever, we'd have these discussions of like, and me and Livy probably had that the most. Like, dude, we should teach this stuff. Like, it was almost like a joke during the day. Like that pick came off so good. Yeah. We should teach this stuff.
I love that.
And now it's a joke with all the instructors when I work with them. Like, dude, if only there was somewhere where you'd learn how to do that. It's been going for 15 years now.
Yeah. Right.
So it was literally like we all discussed it, and then again, I hate giving Mark credit for anything.
Okay.
He did the Crane School with Mayor up in New England.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah, I read the article and I was like, he stole my idea. Are you kidding me? I will never let Mark Chisholm one up me. He doesn't deserve that. Like, so then I'm like, it's go time. Now it's time.
Yeah.
Now I'm motivated. Now
it's a shame that Mayor thing was a one and done. It was just like a thing.
Two. He did two.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was one of those like, now I'm motivated. Because if Mark Chisholm can do it, why can't I do it?
Mm-hmm.
That is like how. Yeah. Come on, like who's he?
Yeah,
tall, handsome man. So I go out and I get Tatey and I get Gene at Pendel. We pitched the idea. This is like February, whatever, probably early February. That's back when it always landed on like Super Bowl weekend or something. Okay. Right, early first, second week of February, I bet you. Steve Shriner was just walking through, and I was like, Steve, if I do something
like this,
will you support it? Yeah, absolutely. That sounds awesome. Whatever, you let me know what you need. I beeline over to Joe Derskavage, Bandit. Well, at that time, I don't know if he was Blade then or not. He might have been Bandit already. Yeah, he was Bandit already. Joe, I need a favor. This is like when you've lived your whole life stacking your favor cards, never cashing one in. I need a favor. I need a truck chipper and some sponsorship. We're doing this thing. Joe says, as long as Bandit is the solo rep of chippers, absolutely. I love Bandit chippers. They're great. They chip stuff, put it right through. Exactly. It goes great. So he's all in. Now I'm like, we grab Frazier, we grab like Roach, and like get all the players lined up. And it's like, Cheryl Bjornson, I think was her name. She was the Penn State Cooperative Extension rep at that time.
Yeah.
Gene's like, to make this great idea. To make this happen, we need more help. So we grab Penn State. They got some skin in the game to say, on the education side.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That was the thing. So it's like, this is hands-on training though. And that from day one, I was like, everybody knows what we're doing here, right?
You're right. We're not going to sit in a class and talk theory.
Yeah. This is, we're doing it.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring a crane. You guys are going to bring some saws. And I think Steel's sponsorship at that time was, we'll give you $100. Sounds great. Put our name on that. Now they give us every saw I've ever asked for, but at the time, so from February, whatever, let's just say it was like first week of February, March 17th was the class.
Wow.
Whatever, 6 weeks. We went to Ridley Creek State Park because Cheryl just knew they needed a couple trees taken down right by the mansion house. And, this is pre-Instagram, Facebook.
Yep.
How do you publicize an event at this time?
Yeah.
I mean, we've got Penn State's involvement, but what I guess Tree Buzz was that what Tree, I think they threw something up on Tree Buzz, and that's probably Mark was like, who's this crane man? That Pete?
Who is this
kid,
crane man?
That kid that keeps chasing me at Pendel or wherever?
That's fantastic.
And I gave Mark so many Crane Man shirts early on, and I bet you they're all in a trash can somewhere. Never wore one of them. And I met Kramer, same thing, when first time he spoke at Pendel, I think the only time, but he will be back, by the way. It was like, I was just hammering him with questions kind of thing. How, what do you do? I want to do, and I wasn't really letting the cat out of the bag, but I was hitting the questions, and they were like my idols, obviously, at that time, because they're older than me. Put that out there one more time. So, so we plan it. We do it. We got 11 or 13 students. Kid that showed up from Tennessee. We called him Kentucky because he had an accent that sounded like Kentucky to us, I guess. Yeah, so we probably, you can't do that today.
So East Coast Tennessee.
Yeah. Kid wore a cool little, whatever, the funny hat, not a bowler hat, but I don't know, like an Irish type hat.
I got you.
I forget
Interesting.
what it was. And the kid just had some character. And he has reached out to me years later, like, hey, remember me? And I'm like, Kentucky, I know you.
That's great.
He's like, it's actually Tennessee.
Yeah.
But we had a great Aaron Feathers, Cumberland.
Oh,
he was one of the first, he was student very awesome. First year.
Wow.
We had a bunch of great people. Chris Gerard was one of the very first students.
Wow.
And right off the get-go, I knew this guy was trouble. He was just like, dude takes way too many notes. He's writing down everything I'm saying. Why is he doing that?
Yeah.
So
he's going to put it in an article.
I know. He's gonna, I didn't realize at the time what that was, but it was the birth of something great.
Oh, yeah.
So we had such a great time that it's been the original. It's a 3-day course, because it takes so long to go through the process. Yeah. We had basically a 1 crew, 1 crane. I think we still took down 3 or 4 trees there.
That's cool.
Livy brought the bucket truck. I had the crane. I think Schreiner gave us the truck and chipper, truck, and Bandit gave us the chipper. Gareth was kind of the only guy with rope slings at that point. Now he had spliced them. He was working for Penn State at the time up at State College. He came, that was part of that whole gig. So that was really that was the birth of Crane Safety Climber School.
So there certainly weren't as many choices in terms of rigging slings and things like that as now. And even just, I've seen an explosion just in construction. Not to mention 100%. What they're making things out of, but just construction, weaves, braids.
It's just growing leaps and bounds.
When 10X came in, Well,
2016 was the year that I think you came on board. Mm-hmm. You can blame Rick for that. He was like, I got this guy, Paul. He's really great. Like, how great is he?
Exactly.
Can he perform? That's all I care about. But Stice nice guy Dave was also that was his first year.
That's awesome.
And the Samson.
I mean, that dude is some people with their knowledge, like when they just start speaking about things, and you're going,
it's like
I can't remember. Like,
right. Just to be again, I have the ability to recognize how my blessings have hit, and my friends, my people have grown to this. Like this is, and I like even driving over here today, I was like, I do not know why I'm doing this. Like I don't know why I am going to a tree industry podcast. Like who cares what Pete does, or is going to do? Like, is it really a thing?
Yeah, definitely. It definitely is. And I mean, this is the thing. And you know, it was like when we decided to have Desmond on,
right?
Early episode, you know, and it's like, oh, he's kind of a newbie. Like there's so many people that, you know, quote, deserve to, and we're not really trying
for the reader or the listeners. They couldn't see my eye roll there.
Yeah, we're trying not to be like a meritocracy as much as like it's about perspective. It's about speaking into the industry and this community something hopefully of value. And we felt at that point with Desmond, like there's going to be hopefully people listening that are sort of in a space where that's going to be. He's new and he's trying to figure all this out.
Literally. And it's like overwhelming.
It is.
Like think about that at this level.
You know? And to me, like you've just been, you know, since we met and since, you know, coming on board with Crane Safety Climber School or whatever, you've been kind of a constant. And that's another thing down as we progress is I see you at everything. And this is something Brick and I, it's a theme with us.
Right.
You know, sometimes people will solicit us. Hey, we want to come on. We want to, and I'm like, that's cool. Like we only do one a month, and we kind of have a list. And it's like, and it's a little bit like, obviously, it's a lot of guys we know, but those conversations are going to be rich and deep.
Right.
The fact of the matter is, have we seen you at stuff?
Right.
Are you participating in the community? Are you contributing?
Right.
Are you sacrificing something of yourself, of your time, to contribute to kind of to the greater,
it's 100% for the greater good
that I've seen with you, right? I'm like, here's a guy who's a crane guy,
not a tree
guy, but he's really he's a crane guy supporting the tree industry, but then also like everything plugging in, like at comps, at conferences, at, you know, speaking at the trade shows. And I just think that when someone, I call it like a sister discipline. Mm-hmm. You're a sister discipline is what you do. And you assist 100%. Us with what we do. And it's an intimate bond that the operator and the climber or the cutter
as intimate as you would like it to
correct.
be. Yeah, we can go to
that's another podcast.
Okay, sorry.
That's a different. That's under a different name on the black web or the dark web or whatever you want.
Whatever it's called.
But anyway, and I'm going off here a little bit. But the point being that the perspectives that someone gives. Again, it's like, it reminds me of Ray. Ray's not really a tree guy. I mean, he had a history.
Right.
But he supplies and think of the conversations he has that we almost can't have sometimes because we compete with other guys.
Right,
and as friendly as we are, there are guys near me that I know and I have respect for and I like them, but I'm in direct competition with.
Right.
You have
I have no competition.
Correct.
I literally... We'll put that on the record.
Yeah.
I view no one as a competitor of mine. We just work in the same field.
Yeah.
That's like, one, they can't compete with me. Put that out there too. Yeah. Go ahead and try. I'll run the gauntlet with anybody.
You welcome it. Exactly.
Yeah.
But I like that. I like the confidence. That's you know, that's good.
Right. Yeah. But it is one of those. We are literally all in it together.
Yeah.
Crane Man has had moments of like, what are we going to do right now? It's 5:00 on Friday. You're telling me you took too big of a piece and now you're stuck. Like, I get a phone call of an operator literally bit off more than he could chew. Wow. So 5:00 Friday, what are we doing?
A different company?
No, one of my operators.
Okay,
one of my
just
guys.
For clarity,
one of a Crane Man operator.
Yep.
Took with the 5:00 Friday. Everybody just wants to get done. How close are you to done? Well, we got one limb and a trunk. let's make it 1 pick instead of 2, because that'll be faster. Well, an hour later, when they finally put their tail between their legs to call the boss and say, what do I do? I'm stuck. I've got this log and a limb, and it rolled, and it's between wires, the crane, and the house. We're literally stuck where we can't move. They've, when you move something and you don't even know how you got it there, but now you can't. If any more movement,
get it there.
Yeah, I can't. I can't. Yeah. We are here. Wow. I don't know how I got here, but now we're here. So what do we do? Give me 1 minute. Phone a friend, Glenn. I am stuck and I need help. Can you help? And I don't know if for all of anybody out there that doesn't know, when I say Glenn, that's Glenn Riggs.
Oh yeah.
So
I know.
You guys know.
Yeah.
So, but for anybody that doesn't know more about Glenn Riggs, 5:00 on Friday is a crapshoot to call Glenn Riggs. And I'm totally comfortable saying that. I know he is too.
Yeah.
That he was at the bar, but he hadn't had a drink yet.
Yeah.
It was, and this was like divine intervention again, because normally we would have been out of luck. It was right. And it was one of those, I got you. Awesome. And I forget where I even was, but this is decentralized command at its finest before I knew it existed.
Yeah. Awesome.
Even though I knew it existed way before, I think before Jocko, put that out there too.
Military.
Yeah. He might have joined before me too. I was 91. I put that out there earlier.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't know when
I think he's more. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, let's get him in here now.
Yeah. There we go. I like that. That's good.
Anyway, I call Glenn. Glenn grabs Jake. Same thing. Glenn and Jake jump in the bucket truck, go over to my job with a different, they're their own tree company.
Yes.
We've got this other guy.
Yes.
Who put us in. He didn't put us in the spot. He and my guy put us in the spot.
Correct.
We do everything together.
Yes.
Rick is the only one that can do it by himself.
Right.
Pinchy grabby thing.
Yes.
So the crane, the climber, the tree company created this situation. Now we have to get out of it. They lack the equipment necessary to get us out of it.
Yeah, undo it.
To undo this, you need a bucket truck. You got to get up there and you got to be able to start nipping away at it without taking the wires down, without hitting the crane, without in the house. All the things, 5:00 Friday.
Wow.
So they came over, they undid the situation, put it down on the ground. I think Glenn, in Glenn's super savvy way, told everybody how stupid they were and they should never do that again. And he left. With didn't send me a bill.
Yep.
Didn't do anything. I had to chase Glenn down forever to be like, dude, nah. So in this industry, even though we're all in competition with each other, if you don't have a friend that you can call, shame on you.
Yeah, agreed.
You need to be a better people person.
Agreed.
So collect those phone numbers, collect whatever.
Yep.
Know who it is that can help or would be willing to help.
Yeah.
And there's guys out there. Everybody would, everybody has a rescue call to be made at some point.
Agreed.
And Glenn answered that call and I think it was 2 years later at the bar at Pendel, probably. He's like, Heineken. I was like, done. He's like, we're even. Like, cost me a beer.
Yeah, that's awesome.
A really crappy beer.
It was really just the principle of it, right? It was just like, okay, let's settle this.
Right.
Let's get this off the books here.
Yeah. But with that, that's a wonderful story. And to the point of the story is that is what we're doing with the podcast.
Right. I forgot where we even started.
It's good. But you see what I mean? Like the podcast, our goal is the idea is that, like, I'm just throwing a state out, but we could drive to Oklahoma and sit down. So we'll do it. It's not a question of we can. It's just we don't have the time parameters to do that. Right?
Oh yeah.
So we go locally first, right?
Right.
And then we'll bring people in. You just nailed the point of why you're here.
Right. Oh yeah.
You're not like, well, I'm the best business around. I do this better than that person. Don't talk to people. Don't network. You just literally hit all the points in that story of what we should be doing in this industry.
Oh
because if all of us raise the standards, all of us benefit from the standard at the same time.
100%. And that was the birth of Crane School. Back to that. Yeah. We're good at this. We need to share. Yeah. And to the plaque, as iron sharpens iron, so one man should sharpen another. That is what I see here. This is
that.
Men talking to men about their skills, their growth, and I have some really deep friendships. I've always gravitated to older men. Don't take it like that, Paul. We're not, I will grab lunch later if you want.
I present like a much younger man.
Yeah. But it's they're like at a certain level, man has a desire to mentor.
Sure.
Like they're
like the age of meaning.
Yeah. What are you going to leave behind? Like if you do not have a legacy, if you are just here to turn to dust and be gone and nobody's going to remember you, what's the point? Mm-hmm. And not that I want to be remembered or any of that, but I want to make somebody else better along my journey. I don't want to just be the flash and gone, and that could be in 80 years or 50 years, whatever.
Sure.
But to leave something that lasts longer, to give a building block for others to grow off of, to me, that's what it's all about,
No, I
how much
agree.
can you impact?
Yeah. And I think, it's also part of the aging process. Like I know 50 was a big deal for me with that.
50 is the new 70.
And now 60 is a whole nother, there's not enough to unpack.
Really, 50, 70, 60s, 90s.
No, really. There's not enough.
Math doesn't actually work here, so yeah.
You're in an alternative universe.
Yeah.
But anyway, you did trip something that I think I want to dig into, and so did you. This is completely off script, off topic, not script, but it's not.
This is scripted.
It's not a plan. You know what I mean? It's a tangent.
Right.
Because it's something I've been battling with. And, we in this industry, we suffer a certain amount of turnover. And I was reading on a Reddit thread, believe it or not, about tree people. And, it's good when you're young and you're this and you can go and like working for the small. I mean, you have a unique situation working at a township, able to work up benefits. And there are small operators like myself. We want to employ people. We want to treat them right. We want to pay them well. We want to be professionals. And maybe there's not enough time for this. Really, I don't know. But it's been something I've been struggling with. You and I, when we spoke at Arbor Expo last year, we talked a lot about being proud of what we do, and we've waxed philosophical on this podcast about the interdisciplinary nature of what we do. And I don't need to revisit that per se. But man, how do we compete as an industry with the other trades? By level of professionalism, we've talked about this as well in Europe, how they're regarded as professionals, and they have this how they value their gardens and all the old properties with these big old trees and everything. And I know what I'd love to be able to pay my guys, but in the private sector, sometimes you're limited by market share. I can only bid what I can bid. There's operational expenses. There's if you want to leverage certain equipment, there's payments involved. If you're renting a space to run your business, there's taxes. And now I have these people that I really want to take care of and say, be proud of what you do. But I think this is a real conundrum in our industry. And I don't know if you got, is there an answer? Is it just where we are because of, in other words, I think to some degree, if you're doing line clearance and right of way management and, you're dealing with servicing large apparatus like that you can command more per hour versus doing residential. Is it a business failing of someone like myself, say, that I'm not courting more of that work? I love the talk about raising standards because I think when we do that, and this is something legacy-wise that I'm trying to do in my little tiny corner of the little world of how we present to our clients. And we just, we recently in the last 3 months raised our rates again pretty significantly per man hour, trying to, so I can push some of that out there. But I just kind of wonder if you guys have any quick thoughts on, the professionalism within what we do, raising the standard, how it, how do we just do better? How do we do better? That's really like, how do we do better?
I mean,
thoughts, comments.
There's so many, and it's like, we're all in that same spot, and I've talked with lots of other industries as well, so they're in the same spot we are.
Interesting.
We are not alone. Just like the previous story, we're not alone out here. Everybody's going through these same struggles, slightly differently.
All right.
I just got to spend a trip out to Minnesota with my son. He had to go to a convention, so I accompanied him. Made it a work trip. Sat down with Taylor Hamill and had beverages and conversation. Sat in with a Bartlett. I made a phone call and said, "Hey, there's got to be an office out here that I can just go visit, and there might be a Minnesota crane school coming just because of that, because the dudes were really cool and they had they had interest." So it's again making this, but they have the same struggles out there. Employees, nobody, who wants to show up for work, who can drive a truck, who can, do this. So how, everybody, we have this, and I don't want to really get into it, even though it's a huge thing of like this generational of, well, I don't know anything about this job, but I think I should be paid $60 an hour for it.
Yeah.
As a just walk in the door.
Yeah.
That's great. You should probably check with the guy down the street because he might pay you that. So, yeah. Good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah. So but that struggle's real because we're all feeling it.
Yep.
But I think it's like we got to get the people on the bus and we got to put them in the right seat.
Of course.
Yep. That is the thing. It's still the people that are running everything. Like none of my equipment runs itself. That whole thing is like if you do not have the right person there, it's just not going to happen. And we've all struggled through having the wrong person there, or even that person's in the wrong seat.
Yes.
Wait, you need to shift over here. You're, as the small business owner or the leader in general, you have to possess, somebody has to possess the ability to manage, recognize skill sets. Like your skill set, I see it. It's not what you're doing right now. No offense. I get it. You might love what you're doing.
Yep.
But you're just not, I think you'd be better over here. Let's have you do this for a while. Hopefully you can love that too. And that is another thing that I personally see a lot of. And I think that's that level of professionalism or whatever. Where's the passion? Where's your passion?
Do you think passion is something that someone has for something, or do you think it can be cultivated and created?
I think it can be cultivated and created to an extent. There's a personality that is just a passionate person. I get loud really quick because that's me getting more passionate about the topic or whatever. I know I'm noticing it now.
I'm sorry.
Too. Yeah.
I should have.
Do you want me to just sit on the floor?
No,
I'll just kick this to the side. I'll stand.
I get nervous for him because I know he's probably.
I'm trying. I'm trying. Yeah. So it's definitely one of those like, okay. I did not know I was going to be passionate about cranes. That was not like, yes, the Tonka toy crane was cool.
Sure.
That was cool. Like crank it, roll it, do the thing. Yeah. I did not know at 24 years old, all of a sudden it's like, here you go. Here's what you're going to do for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So it can just happen, but I think being open and willing to receive, when not everybody's searching, some are wandering, sometimes it's just there. Sometimes it's going to fall in your lap. Sometimes you have to seek it out. So I think we have to help look for the people that are seeking, and we also have to help those who are wandering. So it's like if the leaders can jump in and actually start putting the people where they need to be, I think that's where the level ups are going to happen. That's what we're all after, level up. And it can be level up tree awareness, or it can be level up the whole industry. Yeah. You know, there's different levels of that, but I think it has to start small
at the micro level.
Yeah, you got to start small, build it, and keep building on top of it. You know, keep going.
Yeah,
you know?
No, I love that. Anything to
add? Everything sounds awesome. The the focal point comes down to the new blood, so to speak, right?
Right.
And
greenhorns, give them to me.
Right. You know, so it's and I don't want to say this like a blanket statement, but because I do have I work with some older people that came in and have the same mindset. Like, you know, working hard doesn't equate what I feel like I should get paid.
Right.
And that seems to be the thing. So it's like this idea of like, well, and I'm not, this isn't like a belief system, but the concept is, I grew up on it because of being deaf, and what my mom taught me is you're gonna have to work your ass off.
Right.
You don't have a choice. You're screwed.
Yeah.
If you don't do what you're supposed to be doing, I'm doing everything I can for you, but you have to work your ass off in order to get the benefit.
Right.
So it's already in me to be the personality, so to speak. So the value of the work that I put in was never a question.
Right.
It was like, that's what's offered. What are my paths to, you know? So if I work hard and I make $10 an hour, I'm working 100% for the $10 an hour.
Right.
But if somebody comes along and said, well, you can make 15 doing that, then see your $10, I'm going to 15.
Oh, yeah.
But I never showed up and said, well, I'm only giving you 100% if I get $25 an hour.
Right. Oh,
It's never been a thing. And I'm not saying that the way things are set up is correct now, but I am saying that I'm noticing a lot of it comes in, I'm not giving 100% until I get what I want.
Right.
And it's like, but how do you get what you want if you don't work 100% on the lowest form?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Show me you deserve.
I was going to say that never works. Like even from an employee standpoint, I've never seen someone, because in 30 whatever years of business, there have been times I thought, well, you know what, maybe I need to level this guy up. And so then what winds up happening is you pay more, and I still get the same substandard effort.
Right.
Or
less.
That's what I'm saying.
Or less.
And now, because now they feel edified. Well, I've been doing this, and he gave me a reward for it.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And so now human behavior says, I can just exist at this level. Yeah. Man. So and they're the ones you're just like, I need to quickly fire this. Like, I can't. Like, I made a mistake, but this was it didn't help.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I know, and I hate saying it like I know, because it's like Brick Riley, like just a dude, but like I feel like it's a universal thing that you just know that doesn't work.
Right.
Like the idea of like you not being present and then expecting to get something for that.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's
like, right. So now let's flip it on the other end. It's like, how do we get to teach people that have the mindset, or new people coming in? It's like, how do we get them to understand? Like, listen, you're not going to suffer by putting 100% in.
Right.
You're going to learn something about passion. Passion's going to go, whatever it is, something's going to happen. And then you can see like, okay, I see the path to a better monetary situation.
Oh, yeah.
And that's where, you know, not to get all deeply philosophical, but it's like that seems to be the problem, because it's not like I had a 16-year-old kid.
Right.
But he saw the glamour of Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
Of the tree climbing part.
Right.
But once he was exposed to the work, which starts on the ground with raking.
Is tree climbing hard?
What's that?
Is tree climbing hard? I've never climbed.
I love this. Yeah. This is great. So listen, we can go outside. You know, next week, call me. We're good. I'll do some crane work.
I've got this trailer full of equipment. So show me how to use it.
Exactly. I love it. But my point is, like, he saw the glamour, and that's his brain's already like, well, the glamour equals $100 an hour. Like, I'm just throwing a number out, but then you have, like, I have an older person I deal with that is also like, well, I know that I shouldn't have to work 100%, but still get the most value for it.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And I just feel like across all industries,
it's
the same problem.
Oh, yeah. It's
a people problem.
Everybody wants more for doing less. Like that, and so do I. Like, that would be great.
That would be great.
But I'm a realist. So I understand, like, I cannot do less and expect more in my reality.
There you go.
There may be somebody's reality that works for, and God bless them. Good for them.
But I'll tell you, I'm only 45, but I haven't heard it yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have not heard a successful person that did nothing.
Got
everything.
Right. That's
what I don't know about you guys, but I'm going to say it out front. I've never met anybody who benefited from it.
There is no royalty in this. Yeah. You're not getting the kickback. You're not getting nothing.
This is a little bit of an aside, and it just speaks to a book called The Millionaire Next Door. And it's one of, if you look up like top 10 books about money, it's one of them. And the cool thing about The Millionaire Next Door is it's literally a study. Right. It's like a 20-year study somebody did at a college or whatever. But the lion's share of millionaires, like everybody has an idea of what they think it is. And it's like most millionaires are self-employed and run small businesses. Most millionaires, like of the 10,000 millionaires surveyed, 80% drive Ford F-150 trucks that are 2 years or older.
Right.
X amount of millionaires started at this level and painstakingly contributed to their IRA for 25 years.
Yeah.
The lion's share of millionaires did not inherit family money and this and that.
Right.
Like it goes down the list. And when you look at this cross section of the data, the actual cold reality of facts that you don't get to make up, most millionaires, the 80%, the Pareto principle, 80% to 85% are self-made people that worked extremely hard and disciplined themselves to the business of taking care of their money, not overspending.
Yeah.
And then they said, like, what about and what they did is they differentiated between high income, high spender. So like you have a doctor, a surgeon, a lawyer. These people have these incredibly big paying jobs, $250,000, $350,000 a year, where, but they adjust the lifestyle to the level.
Right.
They're driving a Ferrari. So they're earning and spending.
Right.
They're not. Yeah. So it's like that success looks a lot like hard work.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And that's that whole. We had the discussion when minimum wage wanted to go $15 an hour. Well, now the 99-cent value menu is $3.99.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So yes, you're dealing with bigger numbers. Your baseline's still exactly the same. If you're not changing it all becomes relative because it's like, well, it's just a bigger number you're
It is. And I had this discussion with my brother. We typically try not to be like political per se, but like conversation goes where it goes. So I'm just going to honor my principles. We had a discussion. He views it differently. He was for that.
Right.
And all I said was this. I'm like, listen, every summer I bring a couple kids on.
Right.
This was however many years ago. And I'm like, usually it's a couple summer kids, they have no skill. Right. And really what I want to teach them how to do is come to work every day.
Right.
Show up somewhere for their team on time.
Right.
Properly attired, pack their lunch.
Right.
Maybe they assembled their lunch instead of their mommy.
Right.
Maybe they laid out their work clothes instead of their mommy. Like come in, work on a team, adjust to adulthood. You know nothing. So you're basically going to be operating a rake and a bucket. Maybe I'll show you how to feed the chipper if I don't think you're going to fall in it.
Right. As long as you don't feed yourself.
And I say to him, I'm like, I would hire, say 2 guys at $10 an hour if minimum wage is $7. I'm giving them $3 to $5 an hour more than they would. They're also going to learn how to work on a team. They're going to work in inclement, uncomfortable weather, how to be uncomfortable, how to be tired.
Right. Oh yeah.
And I said, if that wage goes up by that, I can't bring 2 guys in. Maybe I bring 1 in, or maybe I just go, you know what? I'm not paying somebody $15 an hour to do that.
Right.
Of course, that's changed some now because things have so rapidly progressed with dollar valuation. Oh, that's a whole nother topic. But yeah, the point is, it's like, but I also say you create your own value in this world, right?
100%.
So like I gave a talk to the high school up the road. And they wanted me to talk about tree. And I was like, I'll do half on tree if you let me talk half about entrepreneurship and leadership. And they were like, done.
Right.
Well, at the end, I had teachers coming in and listening. And I was just like, listen, if you're going to go somewhere and you're asked, this is one of my first jobs, sweep out the warehouse.
Right.
Sweep it. Make sure you get into all the corners.
All the
be
nooks
the
and
best
crannies.
sweeper.
Yep.
And then whatever's going to fall on the floor, dust that off first.
Right, yes.
And say, hey, I knew this was going to wind up on the floor, so and then ask for another task.
Right.
You become so valuable to that person above you that now they're giving you other tasks. Oh, you're done already? Yeah.
Right.
What else can I do?
Right.
Oh, man, here's another task I do.
Right.
Same way in the business. You come in.
Or now you just create a value within that you can go somewhere else where
Well,
somebody
yeah,
can
right.
and pay you the extra money.
That's what I said is that you create your own value in the marketplace.
Right.
There you go.
Right.
Meaning like, okay, I go somewhere and I'm just a bucket and a rake guy.
Yeah.
Can I feed the chipper? Yes, here's how. Can I run a machine? Yes, here's how. You can also get your Class B A license, and I'll give you $2 more.
Right.
And now you're building something, and you're acquiring skills,
Right.
and earning power.
Right.
Right.
That's the best thing to invest in is yourself.
Yeah, 100%.
Because and with skills, with things that no one can take that away from you. Yeah. I learned this skill. I can take. You can't. I don't leave it here because I'm taking that skill with me. But that is 100%. Yeah, building on yourself, and then you are worth what you are worth.
Yeah.
This is what I can do. This is what I'm willing to do. And then this is how much it takes me to do that.
Absolutely.
I mean, $20 is $20, but
Yep.
And it's just one of those, like, and every task has a limit to what it's worth.
Sure.
Like there is no, this is the best cheeseburger ever. So it's $1 million cheeseburger. No, a cheeseburger is only worth $500.
Right.
So the best cheeseburger is only going to be worth that. But then I want to be the guy to build the best one every time and keep repeating that, continually give that. But then you never slack off either. You always, like you said, give that 110% thing. So that's.
I mean, even as an owner, I try to instill in my team. I'm like, look, when you're out there, because Mason's trying to find his way. Like, this is on the ticket, and the client asked me this, and is this an upsell? Should I be charging? And I'm like, listen, man, if you can add value, and it's here, you're doing this job, and it's deadwooding, but this is whatever, and it's like, hey, listen, I made a few snips. These were touching, and I just kind of took me 5 minutes, but like. And it presents just a better job. And at the end, you can walk the client through it. Not looking for accolades, but just let them know, like, hey, listen, here's what I saw. Here's what I did. I just felt like it just really made things punch or whatever. And if it crosses a certain... But in my mind, I'm adding value. It's like, wow, I had tree awareness come out. They were supposed to do A, B, and C. And they wound up doing D. Unsolicited. Or, hey, they brought my trash cans up. Because they were out at the curb, the trash guys came, the chip truck was there, they just brought them up to the shed. Some little
over the top.
Some little service thing, some little extra, and I'm not getting paid more for that, but I'm adding value, and I'm creating value in my marketplace, because if you get known as this.
You've created that reputation. That this is the guy.
It works on the macro.
Pete jumped out of the crane and swapped the rope slings to the chokers when we needed to, because all the ground guys were over there. And it's like, well, it's like right in front of me.
Correct.
Like I can do that. Like, why wouldn't I?
You can't change them out without getting out of the cab yet?
I have a couple of times. I can. I'm also working on taking the butt log first to get that out of the way.
There you go. Just leave it all hanging.
Lots
Dude, Yost is amazing at that. His whole career of coming out on a job and just like,
just
all of a sudden I'm over. He's chapped up and he's making a stump cut.
Right.
And like Mason's like, Rick's over there, and I'm just like, listen, man.
Learn.
What are
you doing? Learn from it.
There's all these levels, and I've had to rein guys in at times to say, like, listen, our work comp will not cover a chipper accident.
Correct.
So as much as they appreciated having an extra ground guy today, you need to kind of stay by there's limits to,
and that's all true.
I mean, a liability, accountability, all the things, and it varies from, I'm going to act differently with this crew than I will with this crew, just because of that, because I know how they're going to handle something if something was to happen. So everybody, just like at crane school, we say you get what you take away. So it's, if you are not taking it away and it was offered, shame on you. If it was never offered, then that's just where we stand now. So that's all you get. So
no, it's awesome. Cool.
Well, let me just add, the Crane Safety Climber School, do you think only the people that are hungry show up for that?
We've had people that were sent by the boss. Okay. Like you can tell almost right away. Yeah. Okay. You can tell the guy that wants it, and you can tell the guy that was sent there. Yeah. Sometimes the guy that was sent there walks away with more than the guy that wants it, though, because his eyes may open. Yeah. The opportunity presents itself, and all of a sudden there's that awakening of like, oh my goodness, something clicked. The light bulb goes on, and it's like, that's what they were in. That's why I'm here. Okay. Yeah. And it just, So there's all those different levels of participation kind of thing. And sometimes you don't know until until it happens that the backstory was, But like I said, at our levels, we can a lot of times see like, he was sent here. He knows everything already. That guy, It's you get really good at people reading, you know.
Yeah, energy.
Oh yeah, you can match the energy. Sometimes, and like I said, some guys it's all energy and no skill.
Oh yeah. Well, I have to say, for me, I'm not talking about that energy. I'm talking about the reading part. Like, I know you're talking about and it's like,
that just
this is not good.
Talking
about like internal. Like, do you really want this? What are you doing here?
I was just this past week. I was I'm on the headsets with the climber foreman, but the ground guy, definitely new guy, comes over to make the flush cut. Like it was just a spar, so he just had to make the flush cut. And I could tell he was really excited to make that flush cut just by the way he was starting the saw or not starting the saw, whatever it was. It was a lot of effort going in, and I could tell. And in the headsets, I'm like, could you tell him to breathe? Like, take a breath, man. You're so excited about it, you're literally going to forget to breathe and pass out. Yep. Like you can see that kind of energy level kind of thing. But so it's just one of those funny things that sometimes the leader has to back the energy down. Sometimes you got to amp it up.
Yeah, no doubt. Absolutely. I love that.
There's a lot to it.
That's a good observation, and it's really good applied leadership on your part to see that. It is funny though. It makes me think of like climbers. Like you get a guy who's older, who's been climbing a long time, and then you get a newer guy, and it's like they come down and they're exhausted. And they're like, how do you do this every day? It's like, well, first of all, I'm not operating at that level.
Right.
My heart's not pounding. Right. I'm trying to find spots in the tree the whole time to relax.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Just slow the heart rate. Like I'm purposely working to get my feet comfortable so that I can take my heart rate down and not burn myself out. It's all energy management. Even how you hold something. Am I here? Are my hands above my heart? Am I like all this little like?
Yep.
It's like I just want to get this.
If my armrests aren't just right, the energy flow just doesn't
tap into.
There you go. I love that. Just
it's just
right? You're like the emperor. Made you powerful.
I did that for you. Yeah.
That's awesome. All right. So I don't know. Just quick question. Like this is just relating to Crane, just some random stuff because we really did move, I think, quite nicely through, the flow of origin story, Crane Safety Climber School. Real quick, we talked about you serving, and that I see you at everything. We see you at everything. Why is it important? Well, we know why it's important to you because I kind of know you. But if someone were asking you why you do it, what would be your counsel to someone that says, man, I want to volunteer at the climbing comp, but I really don't know because I got stuff to do Saturday. And why is it important that someone serve? And again, I've seen you at Saluting Branches. I've seen you at Expo. I've seen you at Crane Safety Climber School. That's your baby, etc. Why is it important to serve?
I think we're put here to serve. And at a whole level of what you put in is what you get out. So volunteering, donating, helping, mentoring, everything I have ever done has paid back tenfold. Like if you're not watching it happen or aware of it happening, shame on you.
Wow.
Like it is just one of those, the more you put in, the more you get out. It's just, I've been part of Saluting Branches from day one, and I have every shirt, every hat, everything to prove it. That it's one of those, like, that is like, you see a great cause, get behind it. If you, and I know everybody's in a different, whatever, financial situation or whatever, logistically it just doesn't work. But if you can't give one day of your life, year, month, week, whatever it is, I'm sorry. Like, I've worked this hard to get to where I am, and if I cannot give a little more, like that's all I've got, you know. And I will, you know, Rick's the same way. Like, me and him have two peas in a pod, where like we'll give away the house kind of thing. And that's one of those that I don't know where that was instilled in me. It was my grandparents or whoever that, like, you know, it's kind of that there's always, if there's food in my fridge, help yourself. You take everything I have, you know, and that's it. But like, let's just make sure everybody's taken care of, kind of thing. So it's, you know, I don't know exactly where it's from, but I just know for me, everything I have done has come back, you know, karma, whatever it is, put it out there and it comes back to you.
That's awesome.
You know?
Yeah. That's cool.
And it's even from crane school day one, that was part of the design was giving some away. Like we, you know, it's
in
like
the form of knowledge and time and everything else.
Knowledge, time, but even the work to the site. We've always focused on trying to give to a more public, somewhere where there's even more people are going to benefit from this. Take the, you know, the students of the course are benefiting from the course, but when we leave that site,
it's better.
It's better. We've left it better than we found it. We made it safe, clean, whatever. So now that the general public that comes through, it's just like the workday stuff. I'm in on every workday just because it's like, this is giving back to the community. And then, like I said, they see you there. The public at large sees who's there, and maybe you just gained a new customer. You know, maybe you've gained something, like I said, but that's not really why it's done in the first week.
It's just one of those universal truths. It's every time, and it's odd to me. I'm almost embarrassed sometimes when I show up to do, and half jokingly, and I use this one example. I did 2 mission trips to Roatan, third world country, and I go there. And in my mind, I'm thinking, I'm going to serve in Roatan. This is going to be awesome. And, you know, like in my mind, I'm not going to say I'm puffed up, but I'm like, I'm doing this trip, and it's 9 days, and we're taking the youth group, and this and that. And we go down, and there's people down there, and like their houses are crooked, and like, you know, whatever. And you're thinking, and it was we set up these camps for young people. Like they played sports and did crafts, and we rotated them through stations and this and that. Dude, I wept on that trip probably 3 times from the way these young kids ministered to me, dude. I left almost embarrassed. I went down thinking I'm bringing something. And like in the Bible it says, you know, your gifts are but filthy rags before the Lord. And that's, I just like, and I feel to a smaller degree, you know, you go to a work day and you're there and you're like, you know, we're going to work and seeing a friend, having a conversation, having a passerby at the last work day come by and say, what do you got? Hazard trees. And they're like, oh, I walk here every day. And that ministers to my heart. And I'm thinking, I came to serve and I was served.
Oh, 100%.
It's like multiplied.
Right.
And it's not necessarily the why, but it's just like a byproduct of. And it just, you grow.
That's like every mentor is also being mentored.
No doubt.
Like it is just one of those, like there is no one-sided. Like every conversation, unless I'm talking to the wall, like there's an interaction happening. There's something to be gained by all involved. You know.
Were you going to jump in on something?
I was just going to say, I always, because I'm always, I don't say devil's advocate, but because I don't like using that term, but the idea is what you said is on point, but I like to try to let people know, the listeners, is when you say serve, and it always comes back tenfold. I know what you guys are good. I'm just saying, but I want the listeners to know what we're talking about is not a monetary thing.
No,
it's not a thing. It's not. It could be as simple as you're able to wake up. Today's Friday, so you wake up tomorrow morning. You don't have anything scheduled, and you have a 20-minute cup. You're able to sip on your coffee with 20 minutes, and a nice fall weather coming in. That 20 minutes is more beautiful because of the serving you've been doing.
Oh yeah,
that's the tenfold. That's what I'm hearing, and I just want to like drive that home because. I don't want to say that people do, but people, I do, and it comes back. It's like, for me, to come back is that.
Right.
It's never my clothes, it's never my house, it's never nothing. It's always like watching my little one, my 7-year-old, like do something and come back and give me a high five. I'm super stoked. I'm like, that's why I serve.
Right.
Dude. Like I'm serving, you know what I mean? So I'm getting goosebumps saying it, but that's like.
Oh, yeah.
So I hear, and I know you guys are just thinking the same thing. I just want to drive it home to the listeners. That's what we're talking about.
I think it's important to say, and like to almost like just punch that idea in the face. Yeah. To me, the richness of life is it's never money, dude. Rich things of life, the things that fill and bring peace and fulfillment and joy and meaning. It's never the money. No, never.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's peace. It's time. It's love. It's like
it's a moment.
There are things you can't. They're the things money doesn't buy.
Yeah. Right.
Those relationships,
it's like
man,
the country song goes, but it can buy me a boat.
Well, yeah.
No, and 100%.
Yeah.
But it's not the boat. It's the time you spend on the boat.
Correct.
You know, it's time spent on the water.
Right.
Correct.
Right.
Not the boat.
That's true.
You only feel good in the boat because the water moves a certain way.
That's it.
Yes.
You know?
Yes, the rhythmic dance of the water.
There you go. See, there you go. Exactly. But that's cool. No, I love. All jokes aside, but you know, we already know we know you well, but to have you kind of talk more on it, of like it's a serving mindset instead of selfish mindset.
Right.
It's a really cool. I really honor that. I appreciate it because people do benefit from that, directly or indirectly.
Oh yeah.
That you know what I mean? Like you don't know who it affects. They don't know if it's affecting them, or they might say something that you say or do something that you do to somebody else that benefits. So we never know where those ripples go to.
Sometimes it is as small as a hug.
Yeah, absolutely.
My very first TCIA presentation was a pre-conference workshop. Me, Todd Kramer, and Travis Vickerson did this
awesome.
Pre-conference workshop. John Hofstetter, I don't know if everybody remembers him. He was Alaska guy, big guy. Okay. He moved to Tennessee now. Okay. But it was like, he's the biggest guy in the room by far. Like, dude is huge, big man. And at somewhere at the end of my part of the presentation, I was like, does everybody have anything? Like, anybody need a hug? And I was like, you need a hug. And I just put him on the spot, hugged it out. He was so uncomfortable. Dude, it was like me hugging a grizzly bear. Dude,
like hugging the wall. Yeah.
John is the funniest guy. Like and he told me after, he's like I did not know him before that.
That's awesome.
That's our
that's great.
That's our introduction.
That's peace icebreaker.
Yeah, this is I will make you as uncomfortable as we can and forever be friends because of it. Yeah. But he was like, I don't hug people. You put me on the spot, man. Like that was rough.
Yeah.
Like, and I was like, I loved it.
Awesome.
And we'll text each other still. That's and everything
great.
else. He has the yellow K-boom that looked like Rick's yellow one. I forget what his Alaska company was named, but he's offered to bring he cool. offered to drive his truck from Alaska.
That's crazy.
To crane school.
Of course he did.
You know, just to be part of it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, but yeah, John Hofstetter, great guy, and it was just one of those. But that's one of those little things. Like, okay, this is how you're going to approach life.
Yes.
You're all in.
Yeah.
You know, that's it. Just let's do it.
Yeah. It really is about the heart you show up with, right? Like, it's like if you're there to serve and just out of a pure heart, just because you believe in the cause, right? The greater good.
Right. Whether
it's a work day or, you know, because, hey, I believe in the chapter, or, hey, I believe in what they're doing, or saluting branches. You know, I'm a veteran, or I have people that were laid to rest here. I just, like, you know, whatever it is.
Oh yeah,
you come with a pure heart, with just motives to kind of give and show up and.
Right, and on that note, the birds of a feather flock together. Part of that is if you're putting yourself out there, if you're giving everything, guess who else shows up? That's Crane School right there. Is because everybody that shows up is promised nothing but a T-shirt. Yes, there could be stuff after the fact, but up front you don't know. So it's like if you can be part of something and then you see the others, like who does it attract?
Yeah.
Who does it bring to who wants to get behind that cause? Yeah. Then look around the room you're standing in and go, do I deserve to be here?
Dude, that's my biggest thing.
It is sometimes you're like, I am often in a spot of like, how did I even get here? And it's sometimes I want to slink out, like I want to melt into the floor and just disappear because sometimes it's almost too much to process, too much to handle. Like I said, but just being open and out there, those opportunities, like they present themselves. And again, you have to take it, that's partially how I teach crane operators. Like to be a good tree removal crane operator, you have to be an opportunist. You have to be able to see what's happening and then handle it. Mm-hmm. Like if it's rolling a little to the right, well, I'm not going to, I'm going to center up over it again. I'm going to keep going. You're not, you put it down, your job's not done. Get that ball set, get it closer. Sometimes the guy's coming out of the tree. Yep. You got enough slack in your slings while the ground guys are untying it. Just pull the ball over out of the brush pile so that the climber can get back on the ball and go back up. Details to efficiency, that just getting back into it. And then, always on. You're just going and going and going and hitting every mark, hitting every detail to be the most efficient, effective, strongest one you can be, kind of thing. That's just it.
Two things. One a cool thing, because in here I had the questions. I'm like, Pete always brings in a certain amount of levity, humor, sarcasm. Like
it's a self-defense mechanism,
right? And I get that. But I was gonna the segue question out was like, when is Pete serious? And I just kind of saw it, like. When you're talking about no. I mean, you're talking about your work, and it wasn't like it was like boom and efficiency, or when you're talking about serving. So it's like okay, it's just like we always have these very open, funny kind of we trade quips and one-liners and
do me a favor and don't tell anybody I was ever serious.
But when it's time, when it's time, it's time. And,
that's
so when you're operating. And you have a guy, say that you're unfamiliar. It's not Dan Lawton. It's just some guy that maybe you don't know. What makes you nervous as an operator in a tree? Like you see this and you go, and maybe you have to say something, or are you at a point now where you've gotten savvy enough to be able to filter that out sort of pre?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's definitely
saying, right?
there's
no. I know exactly, but it makes sense. Your answer being yes.
Yeah.
So why would you put yourself in a position to continually deal with people that keep increasing the risk of something happening?
Right, and that's one of my faults. Maybe I won't keep my mouth shut. It is one of the, like, if I see it, I'm going to say, especially if it's going to help the situation.
Of course.
So, I will allow somebody to hurt themselves, but not others, kind of thing. Like, it depends how funny it's going to be, too. Literally, okay, how... this is like one of those instantaneous processes of my brain that's like, okay, how wrong could this go? Like, is this really? Am I going to be in court explaining why I didn't do this?
Right.
Or is this just going to be like, after he does this, we are all going to have a really good laugh because this is, it's not going to go how he thinks it is.
Yeah.
So yes, I do see that on a daily almost, and I even with Dan, with Thigpen, with Tate, like, the forgetting to terminate a rope sling has happened, and sometimes I've seen it, I've assessed, and that's not going to change anything, but it's going to be really good to talk about afterwards. Yeah. So we'll just let that one go by. Yep. So there's definitely different levels of let's find out, So I mean, and the other side to that coin is I have literally told guys, like, I will watch you die in like 100% serious. Like this is, and I'm going to leave and I'm going to go home and I'm going to expect to be paid for the job anyway. But sometimes telling somebody that literally drives it home that hard. Yeah. And they go, well, like, Pete's cold like that. But it's real. Like, this is how serious we are sometimes. Yeah. Like this, it can literally be life or death sometimes with this, what our task is. So it's,
you just, I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm sorry to do that, but you just made me think of something I never thought of like this before. Repeated successes, okay, they teach us how to do it. But I kind of wonder sometimes if now we haven't, knock wood, right? There's been no incidents. We're doing a lot of trimming. We got some big removals coming up next week. We got Derek Martin coming in to climb some big tulips, whatever. But you kind of wonder if like that complacency factor, it's like, are we taking for granted that we're going to go home every day? Like, has this become so 100%. Rote? And so, like, put the ball here, put the slings here. I'm going to do a shelf cut. I'm doing a V cut. I'm just going to release this, that. And we've gotten so good at repeating success. Are we most keenly aware of the fact that it still could just go wrong?
I in a conversation, I said, complacency is the killer of legends. And then I was told in that conversation, do not say that in your presentation, please. And I was like, nah, you know what? I am saying it because that is 100%. You could have every A player on the job, and sometimes that makes it more dangerous.
100%.
Because our complacency is just that. That I may be the absolute biggest risk you have on a job because I have had 25 years of not an incident, like odds. Like numbers do not lie. The odds are always
John Ball, man. His numbers back it up.
Dude. Every freaking time. And it is literally like, I would like John to run the numbers on me and say how much of a bigger risk am I actually, because I have not, like, the incidence has not been there. Yeah. So in my mind, I'm due. I hate to say that, but it's I'm due. But the flip side again to that coin is, because I'm aware of that, now I am actually changing the mindset to being a watchful eye. Yeah. Knowing that I'm due, I will constantly be on guard for it. Yeah. But that doesn't mean my guard won't go down at some point. So that it's a double-edged sword. There's all the terms you could say to it, but it is a thing, and it's real. Yeah. That is real.
It is.
So, especially when being asked to perform at the highest level. Then,
it's I was just gonna add again, I don't claim to know the answer, but one thing I do know that I'm really good at is that every day is a daily practice of being a beginner.
Right.
And I work really hard to the point. Desmond, for the listeners, Desmond works with me, and he always like, you're elite, you're doing. I'm like, not.
Right.
I'm really not. Everything I'm doing is just, I don't say my first time, but like it's still the sense of like doing all my daily practice. Like it's everything you do, you can't let it be an automatic. Thing.
No, that's
in tree industry. I can say, even for cranes too. Right.
One of my loved phrases is, "I've never taken down the same tree twice."
There you go.
So we have seen similarities. We see the same structures. We see the same types of wood. So you have to learn from them and then apply them. Yeah. But every time, like, people tell me, "Oh, we've had a crane in here before." Yeah. Not to do this tree from this spot today. Today is the first time we're doing this. Yep. So treat it like that. This is every time. No man walking the earth has ever been perfect, except for one. We see what we did to him. Mm-hmm. So it's one of those, strive for perfection, knowing you're never going to actually attain it. But does that, like, nonetheless keep striving for it, keep working for that perfect pick every time. Keep just trying to hit it, and that's sometimes it's just a mentality of like, maybe that is a perfectionist thing, like you're trying to hit it, or is it a
no? It has to be.
Yeah.
But think about it. It can't not be.
Right.
What is it? What is a daily practice?
Oh,
You're trying to perfect the craft. Perfect the whatever. That's the point.
Yeah.
Getting it's not the point.
Right. Yeah. It's the try. Yeah.
Exactly. That's all it is. And yesterday we got to be in a massive, I would say about 100, 105 hickory.
Right.
We're doing like a light thinning just to help with airflow or whatever. But it was beautiful view and the whole thing. But it doesn't change for me. And I'm not saying other people do, but I'm telling, like, we'll get time to work together, but you'll see he's not just doing what he does. He looks like he's a new climber.
Yeah.
Because he'll be like, he'll move beautiful, but then he'll pause.
Right. Oh, yeah. Pause and think about it.
Who are you talking about?
Me.
Yeah.
It's like every day's the first day.
Right. Yeah.
Every no. It's just, and it sounds cheesy, but it's like literally. With all that tied to Dr. John Ball, there's nothing more sickening that we have the same amount of numbers every year to prove that nothing's improving.
From the day he started his presentation, he was literally going to give it up because the numbers didn't change.
Yeah.
And it's like,
how is that
possible?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's the whole thing. How do we do better? Which leads me to a question: how do we flip cranes, or why do we flip cranes?
That's a great question, Bruce.
We don't do that.
We don't do it on purpose.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
So when you see, because I know they come across your Instagram and you see it, what makes you shake your head? Are you able to ascertain sometimes from photos like what happened?
Yes.
And you've
100%.
heard of incidents, and you go, that could have been avoided because, like, what are we doing? And how do we do better?
It's almost always the human factor. Okay. It's always granted there was that one in New York that went through the septic tank that nobody knew the septic tank was there.
Okay.
Somebody knew the septic tank was there.
Right.
Just the guys on the job didn't know it was there. So that sucks.
Yes.
That's really unfortunate for them. I've done expert witness work for incidences where guys got killed because a crane was involved. Then there was stuff that that was avoidable. Like, and yes, if you have to read all the notes to an incident and you can, that's where somebody with the experience of saying, okay, I can say that right there is where that went wrong. Mm-hmm. That was a straight up overload. Like, that should not have been. Yeah. And it wasn't an overload of the piece being too heavy and the crane went over. It was literally the crane pulled too hard.
Wow.
And literally launched the piece in the air to the point. So if you tell me that the ball of the crane landed in the tree, the crane did not flip over, but the ball is over in that tree over there. When we were working on this tree here, there's only one way to make that happen, and that's a yank and a release. And unfortunately, somebody was in the wrong place as energy came to rest.
Oh no!
So, so things can happen, and that's what I'm saying. Like, every day we're doing a tree removal with a crane is the most dangerous thing you can do with the crane. We're starting with unknowns. We're starting at heights, not from off the ground. Yeah. If you're not good for it, you own it. There's no. That's like when we're dealing with big trunk wood, and I say if you can put it on the ground, maybe I can get that 16-foot log out for you. I'm not going to try it while it's vertical though. Put it on because if it's on the ground, the worst thing that happens. Stays on the ground. I will not pull my crane over. The crane can pull itself over. All I have to do is keep winching. And if I can't pick it up, and something has to give. But there's ways to minimize those risks.
I wrote a saying here. Where is it? Big pieces, big hurt.
Oh yeah,
and that goes whether you're conventionally rigging or what.
Right.
Let's start small and work into the system. Watch how everything behaves, and you can probably do the same thing with the crane.
There was the crane school quote that came out, and I still don't know who exactly said it, but nobody ever died from taking too small of a piece.
There you go.
It's simple theories of like, and, you know, learning how to do it is, you know, the smaller pieces can be sometimes more difficult because you're working with less material to do structure, you know, but, you know, we'll take this small, it's 1,000-pound piece. I'm good for 8,000 pounds. Perfect it, you know, and never, you know, perfect that. Get your symbol, you know, your systems down, your all your things, but never put yourself at real risk. You know, you can, there's certain pieces of the risk we can limit. Let's limit those. You still have to start a chainsaw while aloft, and that in itself is a danger. You know, there's
always the unknowns. Right. Like I had this one guy, this is way back. He came to me from a company like Cowboy, you know, wants to free climb everything. I'm like, nah, dude, absolutely not.
Right.
Oh, I'll just run up and it's and this is a crazy thing because it's a true story.
Right.
I have a thing. What if a bee flies up your nose? Because there's a thing in martial arts called pain compliance.
Right.
So pain forces compliance.
Right.
So you're on a tree and a bee flies up your nose and stings the crap out of you.
Right.
You're not going to just go, you're going to, you know, fall backwards, whatever. And I'm telling you, I could take you right to the house.
Right.
I set a line for him. He's going up, and what do you think happened? He got swarmed by bees.
Just
free climb?
No, I wouldn't let him.
No.
Right.
Yeah, I wouldn't let him free climb. He hit a nest in the tree, and he got lit up. Comes down to bails out of the tree. Bees. They're all settled and everything.
You're not on fire, Ricky Bobby.
Yeah. And I didn't even. And he just was like,
right. Oh yeah. It can.
There's the unknown. There's the unknown. Like Derek was in here talking to one day about making picks, and I didn't know, and it didn't quite. It was, I think it was a poplar, and he was talking about the dew on the leaves.
Yes. How much that's changed.
And he goes, because then in the morning, and I told someone the story the other day. They were like, really? And I'm like, well, think about it. If it's a big brush pick, and it's very leafy, and it's morning dew, and every leaf has, I said, think of the weight of water.
Exactly.
Every gallon has 8 pounds of whatever. And
it doesn't seem like much, but in that volume, in that, it
and he's like, in the afternoon, it was back to normal because it dried up. And he's like, I was like, he's funny too. He's like, and it dawned on me that, you know, he was all into it, but he was into it, you know, which was cool, you know.
Man, that's where I usually like to just pick it, shake it off over the climber, and now it's lighter, so I can deal with it.
I like it.
Snow on pines.
Make the crane stronger. That's awesome.
I just shake this off here, and get rid of that weight, and
man, cool. Well, is there anything we don't feel like we touched on? Do we want to go in any other direction? Do we feel like
we're go in every direction?
I think so.
At once.
All at once. I
think like I just feel like because you have a specialty with the cranes, right? I'll go 5 years. Yeah, let's go with the last 10 years, maybe 5. But I just feel like cranes are popular now. That's like the thing.
They're pretty cool.
They're super cool. I mean, but I'm just saying the concept of like it seems like everybody's running out to try to get a knuckle boom crane, and that's like the solution to the tree problem. And it's like, so I would just love to hear your how you wrap.
I mean, like I said, I've been part of the problem since the beginning. Then when there was no problem, you know. So the industry and the tree industry is definitely going mechanized. We used to be the infantry, now we're the mechanized infantry. When are tanks coming in? Because we're just we want to blow stuff up.
It's like the Merlot, right?
Right.
You know,
and it's like we have to sort out like what's really necessary. And it's people ask me all the time, what crane should I buy? There's so many to choose from. What do you want to do? Right. What will work best for you? There is no one size fits all. No. I said that, what one chainsaw do you want? Which one will do everything you're going to do?
Yeah. Great analogy.
So it's just that's not the way it works. So you have to pick what will do the most of what you're doing, And then the hard part is as soon as you choose that, you change what you're doing. All of a sudden, with my insurance, I have to tell them how many jobs I'm doing in Jersey. I don't know. They're not scheduled yet.
Right.
So last year we did 33.
Yeah.
This year, maybe we'll do 2.
Right.
Or 100.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're being asked to predict the future, which is an impossible task to do. We can give a educated, you know, guess as to this is what we're shooting for. We may go above or below, you know, but this. So yeah, everybody has to have that grown up ability to say this. All right, this is where we're at right now. Let's act on that, and if we have to adjust later, we can.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
For the longest time, that 36-ton National is my bread and butter. I've run that crane for 25 years now, and that is my go-to. There was a time where I was like, I don't need a 55-ton crane. That's stupid. Why? Nobody. You don't need that. I've got 3 of them now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, when a competitor asks, oh wait, I said I don't have competitors. When a fellow
There you go.
When a fellow crane company asked me what I do with trees beyond 100 feet, when all I had was 36-ton cranes, I said, I don't do anything with them.
Yeah.
They're literally not my problem.
Yeah, right.
So that's my mentality.
Yeah.
Like, if I can't do it, I'm not. Why would I work? Why would I waste any of my energy thinking about something I cannot do?
Yeah.
That's foolish of me.
It is.
You know, let it go.
And that's a metaphor, man. Don't lose that. Go back, hit rewind, and listen to that, and apply it to life.
Right. Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. Just
literally
let it. You know, if you can't do anything about it, let it go.
Dude, it goes the same with guys with their climbing skill.
Oh yeah, right.
And you know, it's an issue for me. Maybe some guys need to hear this. Maybe this helps a listener. Like, we've positioned ourselves. We can do removals, and we do. And you know what? I'm doing some big ones on Monday. I'm bringing Derek in.
Right.
Why? Because I'm not at the point of the spear right now. Right. I just don't want to do it, you know?
I just like to say, because Derek's a tool.
Well, and he's
in your box.
Yeah. But, you know, point being, like, whatever. So, like, all right, we position ourselves as, like, really high-end pruners.
Right. Oh, yeah.
All this cool, like, end weight reduction.
Wait, you started with Bartlett, though, right? Yeah, that's...
Well, but what's weird is, on my own, back in the day, I was like, and I hate doing this on the podcast, because it's not an ego trip, but, like, I was... the climbing removal guy. If you couldn't get a bucket or crane to it, people would say, oh, yeah, we need this. And I'm like, no. And I would do that in dead trees and all. Right. So, like, I've gone the whole gamut. What I'm trying to say is, you know, looking at purchasing things or whatever, it's like, oh, I'd love to have a log truck, or I'd love to have a big giant knuckle boom or whatever. But it's like, well, if I'm set up as really high-end pruning and whatever, do I want to have
really need?
No. So, you know, we're bringing Rick in, you know, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
So sometimes just really knowing who you are. What's the best crane for me? Well, know yourself first.
Oh, yeah.
I want to start a business. Why? What are your goals? What do you hope to attain with this?
Right.
Start with a framework of asking the whys and wherefores.
Oh, yeah.
And design things around that, not just leap in, hold your nose, and try to figure out who you are in the midst of the chaos.
Right. Yeah, and
doesn't make sense.
You can backpedal out of that purchase as fast as you can, and just be prepared to lose something.
Yeah, right.
You know, you're leaving something behind because of that.
Yeah.
And some people need the growth moment to realize they weren't ready. You know, that they step back out of that. But yeah, knowing what you're here for is probably a huge piece of that puzzle. And again, like you said, bringing Derek in. Know what your assets are and implement them.
Well, and there's that community.
Oh, yeah.
He comes here because we have a relationship. I mean, he's getting paid, obviously, but, like, he's driving.
Oh, you pay him? That's an awesome concept.
Bittersweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, you know, it's a whole nother topic. But they're those relationships you talked about early on, is building those relationships, spending time with people, having conversations, and that's where it's at.
Yeah.
Well, it's like you calling rigs.
Oh, 100%.
You know, you're like, hey, I'm jammed up. Only this was a scheduled event, not an unscheduled.
Right. Yeah. There's always those. When you, but that's hey, key point. My whole career, unknowingly, has been I have built a network of relationships, friends, mentors, whatever. That you know, be able to tap into your network though when needed. Be able to recognize what your needs are for this battle. Yeah. You know, and don't think I'm not coming prepared to battle.
Yeah.
You know, that's number one.
Amen.
Like, I'm coming. If we show up, it's on.
I agree. Yeah. I love that. I mean, I love relationships. I wave to fellow tree guys and this and that, but I love to compete. Let's get it.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah. We'll smile and laugh and high five the whole time. But competition's part of it.
Yeah, no doubt. Cool.
Amen. I think for me, I asked the question. I think that was just the last special.
I don't even remember a question.
Oh, the crane, like the industry, the way the industry is.
Right.
You know what I mean? But that's your thing. See, I can't say anything to it, but that's you nailed it though. As far as it's like almost like it's cool. Go do your thing if that's what you want to do, but just understand what you're getting, because one chainsaw doesn't do the whole job.
Right.
One size crane doesn't do every job.
Yep.
So it was the same. That was a beautiful analogy. So that was my
100%.
Giving the listeners what they.
No doubt.
Right.
No doubt. So I guess for me, it's just really so Crane Safety Climber School, you got a date for this year coming up?
We don't have a date. We just kind of locked up a site. We got to do a little bit more.
Cool. Yep.
Well, October. I believe it's 23rd to 25th. If somebody goes on sugarbushtree.com, I believe is his website.
Okay.
If you're north of the border in Canada and you want to participate, I know a couple of guys from down here, myself, Tatey, and Rick, are going up to help Devin with his crane school.
Awesome.
There may be more faces familiar. You never know, but that's a good time.
Wonder if they're looking for any help.
Everybody's looking for help, whether they realize it or not.
We just talked about that.
Yeah. And,
where do we find the help?
Right.
Where did it come from?
So, and then, Montana, AmTop, great organization out there. There may be a crane school in the works.
Nice.
out 2026 summer, probably July or August out there. And, our crane safety climber school should be in the spring again. We haven't set dates yet, but that April, May.
And how do people find you? Just the Crane Man
Inc.
kind of thing?
The cranemaninc.com is our website.
Yep.
Facebook, Instagram, it's the Crane Man Inc.
Yep.
The phone number is right there.
Yep.
I do answer. I actually answer the phone.
Wow,
you can shoot me a text message if it's I'm not hiding from anybody, and if I am, sorry.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, it's good.
So it might be avoiding, not hiding. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I can just say, as a friend, as a brother, as a, colleague or whatever, I've enjoyed the relationship. I've enjoyed watching you, just at all these things, showing up and doing and being there for people. And I don't know. I always come away from our conversations, hopefully, typically having a laugh, but usually some insight. And just, I've said this before when I was asked to join the team, I guess, or whatever, at the teaching thing, that, man, it's just a really special, it's a special group, but I'm just glad I know you. There's no other way to put it, to sound corny or whatever, but, people that, the listeners that don't know Pete, obviously personally or whatever, but you get a chance, you see him at an event, giving a talk, whatever, make the time, go up, say hello, ask a good question, and he's always amicable and willing to kind of dig into things in life and stuff. And so
100%.
I'm really super happy you took the ride out. And I know another thing, it's never lost on us, because it's the same thing. Like, you came here today, you have a business going on.
Mm-hmm. I hope the guys are working.
It's Friday, but same, we're, so thank you.
We
for
have
that.
gratitude for that.
It's a sacrifice, and we completely get it. So, and again,
well worth the sacrifice.
Appreciate it. That's part of your testimony and legacy to the industry, which you stated when you talked about serving in general. So. Hopefully these conversations serve our community in some way.
I hope so. I believe they do.
The feedback's been good and strong.
Right.
I've had a couple guys at Crane School take me aside and be like, hey, listen, I didn't have a chance to tell you this, but I was like, cool. There's that coming back. Hey, look, and there's some weeks I'm just like, man, we got this, and it's not like I don't wanna. I wanna.
Oh yeah.
But it's just like in the tumult of everything else that's going on, block this out, sit down, do this. My wife's like, well, you can be out late tonight. You're only podcasting tomorrow. I'm like, I'm like, I understand. It's not the tree thing.
Right.
But I was like, it's a whole another level of trying to be on in some sense.
It's still an energy that has to be put out there. And you guys have hit it multiple times with other guests and whatnot, that it's, I may be filling your glass, you're also filling mine. It's whatever it takes to recharge us. Yeah. But at the same token, sometimes while I'm recharging, I'm still expending energy to do so. And sometimes I need a moment to then, all right, I'm fully charged. Let's go.
Well said.
Yeah.
Well said. Definitely.
You got it.
Listen, man, from the beginning when we first met, and all along the journey, the one thing that's been what I love about is the consistency. You've always been consistent, but you every time we do link up and talk, whatever, it's always like the goal is to get better, right?
Right. Oh, 100%.
And it's always great to be around the energy that you offer. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Your character is always getting better. Your connections and all that stuff. So I genuinely appreciate that. You know that. Mad love for you. So it's like, not only are you like a fun-loving guy and stuff, but like you are truly a person who's genuinely trying to do better every day, and that's.
I appreciate the recognition.
Yeah, of that. You got it, man. And like I said, I love that you have, like you're. For lack of better words, but like
I think he needs a hug.
Oh yeah, I get it, bro. I'm the hugger, so don't worry about it. But no, I'm just saying, I just love that because like you're in the tree industry, but in a unique way.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I'm saying? Because like that's what's really cool about it too. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like we could talk about tree climbing, obviously, but that you're like the point in a different way. Oh yeah, it's unique. Yeah. That's really cool too, and that's why when you talk about Ray with the gaps over supply, like he's in the industry, but in a unique way.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, and that's what's cool. You put all the pieces together, and you have this nice mosaic,
huge puzzle. Yes. Yeah.
You know, so it's just really cool. So I appreciate that. I genuinely do.
Hopefully people get that. Like the guests, I'm not, it's not always about competition climbers and this and that. It's like, Pete offers an extremely unique and diverse perspective and works with all these other people. Yeah. It's like going to your saw shop. I make a point when I go to my saw shop and I ask the guy at the counter, I'm like, what are you hearing out there?
Right. Oh, yeah.
And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, are guys busy? Are they working?
Oh, yeah.
Are things breaking? Are they buying saws? Like, I don't need gossip, but just give me the pulse of...
Yeah, give me what you're seeing right now.
Because he's...
And I totally understand, like, okay, that's what you're seeing, and now I'm going to put it together what he's seeing. Yeah. And that guy over there told me this. Yep. There may be some truth filter involved, but now I can put together my assumption or my assessment of, okay, this is where we're at. Yep. It's a good spot.
No doubt.
We're in a good spot.
Yes. Yeah. Cool, man. Well, listen, my partner, Brick, appreciate you. Love you, brother. Mm-hmm. Ben, the producer, thank you. He's always off camera doing what he does best. Pete, my brother, my friend, just grateful to... have all of y'all in one spot for a minute, and I'm thinking the next one is Saluting Branches, where we'll see each other because it's the end of this month.
Yeah,
right.
September. Yeah, so mid-September.
Looking forward to that. So this will have Saluting Branches will have transpired before this is aired.
Oh, right. Okay.
So, and yeah. So that's all I got, man. Aging Arbors podcast out.
Peace out.